What is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline Live, episode 102. We're starting off the stream solo today. We do have some awesome guests joining us very shortly. No Lane tonight. Lane had to take off tonight, and Chris is actually packing up to move. I wish I could just sit there and say that I was just watching him move, but unfortunately, I have to help him out with that. Sean is joining us. Right as we're getting started here. Sean, how's it going? I'm glad you were able to get the link working. Love the hat. We're going to talk about Batman, so perfect timing to have the Batman hat.
Yeah, it is.
This is a new background, Sean. Is this like your office? Is this where you have a case in your office or something?
I'm actually moving my office upstairs now.
So all the cases are just some? Like you're going to have your office upstairs with a case or two in it, and then all the cases in the basement still, I'm guessing?
Yeah. Hey, hang on real quick. Something popped on here. I got to turn off.
No problem. But guys, thank you so much for being here on this fine Tuesday evening. We have some pretty cool stuff to talk about this week. Not a ton of stuff this week, but some really cool stuff. And then we're going to take a look at that Artisan Joker for sure. Justin's collection did a great video comparing the in-art and the Hot Toys one. So I think it's going to make for a pretty cool discussion topic. So cannot wait to take a look at that with you guys. So thank you everybody for being here on this fine Tuesday evening. Like I said, we have some more guests joining us very shortly, but we're going to get started. I'm going to pull up the photos here. Resistance to Hottie. What's up, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here tonight. It's a quiet Tuesday, guys. You know, with football going on and stuff, I totally understand it takes people a little bit to get in here. But I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Of course, as everybody comes in, I'll say what's up to you all. We got my boy Valk in the chat, a channel member and a good friend. What's up, Valk? Valk says, Hotline Hotties in the house. Good evening, everyone. Connor, Justin, and Thrawn's office. Yeah, they should be popping in very shortly. Thank you so much for being here, Valk. I hope you're doing well, my friend. And it's great to be with you on this fine Tuesday evening. We got Sneaky Figures in the chat, a channel member, a good friend, and a moderator. Not only here, but also in the Facebook group. Sneaky, what's up, my boy? I hope you're doing well. He says, yo, sup, everyone. What's up to you? Thank you so much for being here, as always. My boy, X-Man Supreme. X-Man, I was thinking about you before the stream started because you know that little tease we got this morning for Deadpool and Wolverine. You were the first person I thought of, so I know you're really excited, and I think that's what you're talking about. Thank you so much for being here, X-Man. A moderator and a good friend of the channel. X-Man, if you're bored, dude, feel free to hop in with us to talk about some Deadpool and Wolverine. I feel like I can't take that from you because it's so exciting. I feel like I have to give you the opportunity to talk about it. We also have Moose in the house. What's up, Moose? Moose, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think I missed it because I was pretty busy. But I'll have to check it on the replay. I think you just did your first stream ever, Moose, over on Dante Man of Hot Collectibles channel. I think, if I'm right, I think you already did it. If so, congrats on that. I hope you had a fun time. I look forward to checking out the replay. Moose is a good friend and a channel member here. Thank you so much for being here, Moose. Moose says, hello, community of collectors. I'm at work. Shh. We'll try not to be too loud. I can't speak for Sean. He's a loose cannon, so who knows what's going to happen. Now he's acting up in this new office. You never know what's going to happen. So
what are you talking about?
Dude, my camera just completely went out of focus. What was
that?
Like,
it's weird. It's like your computer knew you were blasting me there.
And they just EMP'd me. X-Man says, put me in, coach. I'll send you a link on Instagram. Once I say what's up to everybody, I'll send you the link on Instagram. We'll have X-Men drop in because I can't take that from you, dude, talking about the Deadpool and Wolverine stuff especially. We got Gio, the movie canon, a channel member and a good friend. What's up, Gio? Gio says, evening, collectors. Good evening to you, Gio. I hope you're doing well, and thank you so much for being here, as always, my friend. Moose, dude, you should have linked me, man. I've been missing out. 3 panel appearances, and I had no idea. Well, hey, definitely send me a link. I'll definitely check it out. Was it all on Dante's channel? I didn't know. Sorry. I thought you had just made your debut the other day. I swear I read a Facebook post, but maybe that was the initial debut. Why is my camera going out of focus? I feel like I'm moving too much. But let me send you that link over real quick. Sean, I'm going to pull up the first topic of discussion. We're going to start off with this one, guys, and then we're going to take a look at the Joker after this because I know a lot of people are really excited to take a look at that. So, Sean, while I'm sending the invite over to X-Man, Frank Miller, comic Batman. Sean, we've talked about multiple times on the stream. We've brought it up multiple times. Will Hono maybe do some comic DC stuff? I thought when this first popped up, I thought this might have been a Hono announcement, but it's not. It's a Hot Toys comic book masterpiece series announcement. Definitely really, really exciting. If anyone was looking for an affordable Frank Miller inspired Batman design, this is your place to get it, because I know I think I can't remember the name of the other company that does the custom Frank Miller pieces, but they're very expensive, and this one came in at a very, very affordable price. So definitely really, really exciting. But Sean, share your thoughts on this Frank Miller Batman while I send this link over, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. Are you going to be picking this one up as well? Feel free to answer that while you're sharing your thoughts on it.
All right, so I am going to pick it up. I do like the entire storyline of the Frank Miller Batman. For those of you that don't know, basically, Batman comes out of retirement because crime is getting so bad and everything. It's a really great story. Came out in the 80s. The suit and everything and the size of him, is exactly what he looked like in the comic. So I think it's a great representation of it with everything else. Kind of surprised they didn't find a way, but I'm sure it's a money marketing scheme. But there's a couple more versions too. Well, one, I could see us getting the same exact suit, but then getting it in battle damage with actually blood and everything else.
And stuff. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
And then in the Frank Miller comic series, there's also where everything gray is gray on that next suit, but then it's blue, and then it has the bat symbol on the chest, and then the yellow color around it.
Yeah, there's so many different
variations. I could see them making that too. Because for this body and everything, this seems like a huge investment for Hot Toys to go down a line with this type of body.
Yeah, because this is definitely a custom body out, because this is a very, the Frank Miller designs, like, he's obviously extremely bulky, like even more bulky, I would argue, than like Batfleck and like the BVS 2.0. So it's like, this is certainly made just for this body, and it is or for this figure, and it very much is an investment. Yeah, so I could definitely see some alternate suits as well. And I think the battle damage, we know Hot Toys loves their battle damage, so I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. And so others are, if you're not aware, the Batfleck Batman is based off of the Frank Miller Batman series. Mm-hmm. That's who they chose to represent.
Hold on. He was in and then he was out. He was in and then he was out. I just got a glimpse of Justin's name when he was backstage. Real quick, sorry to cut you off, Sean, but the timing was too good. Blue Tattoo. I want to give a big shout out to Blue Tattoo, because we just made a trade. I finally got an animated series Joker to add to my collection, and Blue offered it to me for a sale, and I was like, would you take a trade? And I had something he wanted, he had something I wanted, so shout out to Blue. I cannot wait to get that in this week. And two goats here joining right as we're getting started. Justin, I'm a little let down, dude. I caught a glimpse of that name right as you came in, and then it got retired instantly. But hey, it's all right. It was a little Easter egg for me. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Hopefully the mythical creature who is Steve pops in tonight, just so we can poke fun at him, because you're on stream now. We love to do that. So
yeah, I think Graham, like when I was on Wolfpack Wednesday last time, he switched it over to that or something. And so when I dove in, it was there, and I was like, nah, hell no.
You're like, no way, I'm not being that guy.
Yeah, gotta switch it back. So,
but thank you so much for being here, dude. It's great to have you back. Sorry I asked you so last minute, but I'm like, I want to have Justin on tonight, dude. I haven't talked to Justin in a few weeks. Let's have Justin back on. So great to have you here. And then, dude, we got a last minute panelist. I saw my boy X-Man Supreme in the chat. I'm like, how can I disrespect him with the stuff that we just got teased this morning and not have him come in? So I'm like, come on in if you want to.
Let's fucking go, you guys! Let's go! I got my Wolverine gym gear in. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Look at this. Just in the mail, fresh today.
Ready for the call. Ready for the call, dude. Got the adamantium claws and everything. Well, dude, I'm glad you're excited. Like I said, I'm not even joking. The first person I thought of when I saw that teaser, I was like, dude, X-Man's going to be freaking pumped, man. So yeah, really exciting to get some more Deadpool and Wolverine stuff. And I think out of all the stuff people were hoping for, other than like the John Byrne brown suit appearance, everybody wanted these characters. So Gonna be really exciting to talk about that with you guys, especially you, X-Man, with the adamantium claws and everything. I feel like you're one-upping Mike. I feel like Mike has to show up as Logan at this point, dude. He's got a little bit of extra time on his hands. If he doesn't come in with the cigar and everything, dude, I feel like you're one-upping him.
Oh, hey, real quick, everybody. We need to shame Justin about not having a zero bar ready to go right now.
Dang.
Damn.
I've
All
had a
right.
zero bar in probably 10 years, but it is a great candy bar. It's
Yes,
very underrated.
it is.
Very underrated. Oh,
As
Justin,
soon as Justin gets one, we're gonna do a little Instagram live with Brick. As soon as he gets one,
I'm guessing this is in
we're about to
reference
learn
to
y'all
his,
today.
his candy rating live stream that he did.
Yep,
I'm guessing.
yep.
I'm guessing.
Yep.
I didn't finish
gonna
watching
learn.
that. I was listening to it in my car, but when Justin said like Reese's automatically get moved to the top, I'm like, all right, this list is gonna be good. Although, I shout out to my boy Brick Artemis in the chat. I remember him saying that candy corn was good just on Halloween, and I just want to say candy corn's never good. It's never good.
My man.
There's no situation where candy corn is good, Brick. He said,
My man.
I thought you only got candy corn if you were bad.
Right? I thought candy corn was a punishment, but at least Brick said it was just good on Halloween. Someone else was in the chat saying it was fantastic all year round, and I'm like, no, it is not.
Yeah.
Like
Did
for
we have?
Halloween, if somebody tags your yard or whatever, just give out the entire neighborhood candy corn until someone rats that guy out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Candy corn is what Santa gives you in your stocking, along with your one-way ticket to Krampus camp.
Yeah, it got controversial with like the least controversial candies out there. I knew candy corn would be a controversy, but the bubble gum, Gushers being a candy or not being a candy,
Gushers
and
is
then
not a
zero
candy.
bar.
The Gushers
Zero
is not a
bar.
candy.
Well, I kept trying to tell people in the chat. I was like, look, I'm randomly picking something off of Tier Maker. I have no control over what's in here.
And there's so many candies too. Like they're like, where do you stop the list, right? I remember you saying that. You're like, dude, there's so many to go through. I had just to pick some.
It was like 4 hours stream, man, and like I said, it got heated but respectful at the same time, which was nice, man. Which was nice.
That's hilarious. Nothing is better than the heated debate on GeoStream about the best Batman. I still think that's my favorite one today because I was just cracking up. I was summoning Steve to the comments to argue with me about Robert Pattinson and everything. Jose was there. Geo was there. They know.
Yeah, I can't take these Batman lists, man. So if it's not going the way I want it to, I'm out. I'm out of the chat, dude. Because I just can't do that to myself.
Okay, who is your favorite Batman?
Maybe it's this Frank Miller, dude. Who knows? Maybe
You talking about like
Batman.
actor, like Bruce Wayne or Batman?
No, Batman.
I mean, my favorite Batman is probably like actually in the suit.
Don't say the wrong answer, dude.
Might be Bale for me. Might be Bale in the suit, but
He's
Keaton
number
in the
two.
suit's great too. Keaton looks the coolest in the suit. Affleck. I mean, look, I wasn't a huge fan of the movies, but Affleck killed it.
The craziest thing about Keaton is, obviously, when Keaton first made his first appearance in '89, I wasn't alive, but I watched a lot of like behind the scenes footage and like press releases from when the movie first was like, they announced the cast and everything, and everybody was shitting on Keaton. They're like, he's too short, he's not bulky enough, he's not muscular, he doesn't have the look. And he proved everybody wrong, just like Robert Pattinson. Everybody was shitting on him left and right. Like
Just like
I
Batfleck.
remember, dude. Yeah, Batfleck too. And that's part of the reason why I like this 10-year plan with James Gunn. I'm trying to give it a very fair chance because look how many times the fans have been wrong and they really warmed up to these. And sometimes they don't warm up to it and they're not happy with it. But a lot of times like these actors and actresses just get shit on and then people are like, damn, I didn't see the vision. Now I see it. You know what I mean? And like, look at the Matt Reeves universe, man. Look where it is. Look at the Penguin show and where that left off. Like
That show is
it's
so
an
good.
dude. It was incredible,
Hey,
guys.
can
If
we
you
do
haven't
That
Spoilers
show
on
was
that
damn
show?
near perfect.
you said what?
Can we do spoilers on that show?
Not yet, because
Come on.
especially because
Yeah,
of what
I
happened at the
haven't
very end.
finished it.
Yeah, not yet. But guys, if you
They
haven't
did a
watched
brilliant
it,
job with that show.
dude,
Yes, they did.
easily one of the best
Yeah.
comic character / animated character adaptation live action shows ever. Marvel, DC, doesn't matter. Like every episode was good, and you don't even with Star Wars. You guys know I'm a diehard Star Wars fan. Not every episode is good. There's a lot of filler. The Penguin show, there was no filler to me. Every episode was like, let's go, hit the ground running. This happened, then this happened. Like it's just crazy how good the show was, and Colin Farrell, dude, he's a menace.
I kept forgetting it was him. You keep forgetting that it's him.
Yeah, and then like
Like you're sitting there and you're like, oh shit, that's Colin Farrell.
Right, and then
Like-
once he starts going into these monologues and shit, like he just totally gets lost in there, and it's crazy, man. But yeah, they did such a great job, guys. Highly recommend watching the show.
Everybody in that show was.
Sophia
If everybody
Falcone
doesn't get
slash
if everybody doesn't
Gigante.
get a freaking award, something's wrong.
Right,
Something's
like
wrong.
the set
that-
pieces, the musical scores, everything. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And the flashbacks too.
Yeah.
Oh,
those were
yeah.
very good.
That
Very
kid
well done.
better get an award.
He looked, dude. He looked.
Oh,
like
he
a
was
mini
very,
Oz
very. He
Cobb.
was perfect. He was
Yeah.
so good.
Down
Man,
to the
he was
haircut
good.
and everything, dude. Did
Yeah,
a great job.
every single one of them. Everybody hit their mark, man.
I agree, dude. I'm excited
Mm.
to see more. But guys, yeah, please, anybody in the chat, try to avoid the spoilers because, you know, especially with that last episode, there's like a couple things at the end that are very like shocking. So
man.
definitely check it out.
You know,
Definitely check it out.
I just want to say this, okay? The very last couple seconds of the very last episode, I was just, yes, that is how you end it.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
all kind of, and I was talking to Brick about this, we all kind of like expected it because we knew, and I can't say too much, but we knew that someone wasn't going to be in the show. It was announced before the show came out. And then you get a little taste of it at the end, so. And yeah, Moose makes a good point, you know, back to the Frank Miller Batman here. And that's what I thought it was. I had that on the tip of my tongue, but I didn't want to say it and be wrong. Yeah, the Rovanic Studios ones are incredible, if that's how you pronounce it. They're incredible, but like, what was this guy? 255, 265? I can't remember the exact price. I think it was, yeah, like two.
Yeah,
are you
something like
kidding
that, yeah.
me? 255 for a fully brand new figure, brand new faceplates, brand new body. And like, dude, to me, I saw, you know, there's always people that are skeptical when they see new figures, but when I was looking at like some actual, like, you know, grabs from the comics and everything and from the animated series, like, this looks pretty damn good. It looks pretty damn good. I think it's pretty spot on. And like, I think that, you know, often Hot Toys, you know, they're hit or miss with the cow shape on Batman. I think the cow shape's good. This creepy, like, teeth-heavy faceplate is just perfect to me. They recreated that so well. It just looks great. It looks great. And you know,
yeah.
I'm not surprised at all that they chose this as, like, the first animated Batman they did, like, even over BTAS, because this is just a very sought-after design. And they probably saw that company, Rovanic, doing incredible work and people paying that money. And they said, why not? And it came in at a very fair price point. So I'm all for this. I already you guys know I'm crazy with Batman. I already pre-ordered it. This is locked and loaded.
You look at that cape. Look at the folds coming off of the. Who told Hot Toys they could do that?
I know, dude.
That they
went
could be
hard
so
on
nice
this,
like
man.
that.
They went
Who
hard
told
on this.
them?
Even like this hand to like perfectly cradle the sniper rifle. I love that pose right there. This is great, man. And like the hand to hold all the batarangs, like the weathering on the belt, fully cloth from what I could see here. I mean, it's a win-win, right? You could actually pose the thing. He's gonna look. This is one of those figures. He's such a tank. He's gonna look badass even if you just have his arms at his sides. You know, like it's a great figure for anyone who's like intermediate with posing and you just want a Batman representation that's close to the comics or like the animated series. It looks awesome. So yeah, dude, I'm all for this, man. The cape actually is probably the best looking Batman cape they've done in a long time. I'll be honest with you. Because like even the Keaton one, the 89, I wasn't a huge fan of it. It does look better than the original one, but the moment I threw a custom drape cape on it, I was so much more happy with it. And that's, you know, I've kind of gotten sucked into the drape cape thing from you guys and like all the other people that I talk to that get the drape capes. I've been getting sucked into it. And every time I upgrade a figure with one, I'm like, well, shit, it looks way better, you know? So I'm very partial to drape capes versus the wired stuff. I don't really pose my figures like flying or like, you know, like Superman. You know, maybe with the in-art one, when that arrives in the next couple days, I'll mess around with that. Yeah, sorry to make you jealous there, but I luckily enough, I got in the first batch with Kit. I was I was actually, dude, I was the third order with Kit. That's how excited I was to get that figure. I was the third order. So yeah, really, really, really excited to get that. But yeah, guys, this is a pickup for me. And guys, sorry we kind of got deep in conversation here. I'll say what's up to you guys in the chat really quickly. But yeah, long-winded, but this is really exciting. This is a really cool figure. And, you know, what else are they going to touch? The Frank Miller Joker? Like, what else are they going to go into? There's a lot of stuff they could tap into with this, and it's very exciting. And even though I've kind of become a fan of the animated the comic design from the animated shows, and I was never like a big comic book reader. I'm excited for this stuff. So imagine comic book fans are just drooling at the mouth right now. All the comic love from X-Men. You know, you get Wolverine, multiple animated Wolverine figures, 3 now from Hot Toys alone. So there's just so many options right now. And this is stuff 5 years ago. You're probably sitting there, you're like, they're never going to make that. They're never going to. A lot of this stuff the past year, we're like, what the hell, dude? Darth Revan, Lord Starkiller, like it just never ends. They're just doing all this crazy shit, and I'm really here for it, dude. I'm really here for it.
And this makes me hopeful because we have a chance where we could get like the Stephanie Brown Robin, from the series. You know, and I would love to get a actual Commissioner Gordon,
dude. BTAS Commissioner Gordon is what I want so bad, dude.
We're 100% getting that Joker, that Frank Miller Joker. 100%.
I think so. I think that's probably the next one. Like, who better to pair other than like a Robin? Who better to pair with Batman than?
Yeah, and
I'll just be happy with Carrie Kelly. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, he could sell as a standalone is the thing. Like that's the reason I'd like to get more than that, but I think for sure we'll get that Frank Miller Joker, and Superman would be the next one I would probably guess, but I don't see it. I really think it'll probably just be those two, but I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, like I'm kind of with you. I don't know how hard they would go on this line in particular. I think with the comic stuff, they're just going to keep like dripping us stuff, which I'm fine with. You know, like Venom. I would have loved if that had a tandem, animated / comic Carnage, a proper Carnage. That didn't happen, but it may happen. Who knows? Like I'm totally holding off on that Carnage right now because if we get the proper like slender animated Carnage, I'll lose my mind. I'll totally lose my mind. So the potential for the DC stuff is huge right now. Like I honestly expected a bit of a drought because of the whole 10-year plan, but Hot Toys had other plans, which I'm very happy that they did. So there's a lot of really cool stuff on the table for sure.
And this line, I'm okay with them taking their time on this line if they concentrate on more movie lines.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I could very, very much see this like being trickled. I could, and I'm fine with that. I don't need it. You don't need to blast me all at once. I have enough comic stuff coming. With like S-Hero doing the BTAS stuff, Yost is doing BTAS stuff. I've got my fix, and I could slowly trickle it in. I just, dude, I'm like so sucked into the BTAS animated figures right now. Like I love the S-Hero stuff. I got their Wonder Woman on pre-order, and as of right now, that's it. So I hope that they announce more. And again, big shout out to Blue Tattoo for trading me the SSR animated series Joker, Mark Hamill Joker. I'm really excited to have that. Can't wait to take a look at that. By the way, what's up, my boy Jose? What's up?
My bad, dude. Do you have the Mondo Batman animated series stuff? Do you have any of those pieces?
I don't. And here's the funny thing. I feel like when I look at those figures, I feel like the worst one is Batman.
It is. No, you're right. 100%.
Which sucks because it's the face of the series, and it's like, he's hard to
get right.
He is.
That figure design, that character design is hard to get right in figure form. Like you've got to make joints, and it's like his lines are just they're such that like any kind of break in those lines just completely ruins the image.
And like incorporating the cell shading and everything too, it's very difficult. That's why I found my niche, I guess, with the S-Hero stuff. Like, I feel like they've done a great job at, like, kind of mixing those two worlds with, like, a realistic, but also looks like it was pulled off of the screen. And I love it. It might not be 100% accurate in certain proportions, but it looks great. It poses well. The bodies are fully custom, and they have that animated look to them. So,
was it also Rovanek that did that? That also did their animated Batman? Did they also do an animated? Because somebody else did a custom. That had maybe 6 or 7 different head sculpts and all kinds of stuff.
Jesus.
And it was really nice, but it was like $700-800 as well. And I'm like, yeah, I like this. This is really good, but no. Yeah. So I'm like, I have one of the S-Hero Batman, the original with the yellow on order. I'm gonna cancel it though, because I'm gonna see what Yost is doing with his.
To me, I'm like so sucked into it right now. I'm like, I gotta have it now. And maybe I'll get both, and maybe because I am gunning for that BTAS Batmobile, so maybe I'll stick one of them in there. Maybe I'll do that. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Yost does for sure. Just missed this. I don't know when this came through, but thank you so much, Moose. A member for 10 months. The dedication is real. Thank you, my friend. A hotline hottie for 10 months. Moose says Miller's bats got me into. Is it Batman the animated series or bats? I guess it could be a little bit. Mike is ready.
That's
dude.
this guy. This comic
He's
right
ready
here.
with the name. Oh yeah, I didn't know if he was like. I had to reread it because I'm like, B8. Okay. My joke was terrible. Got me into the comics in 1986. My babies. Well, dude, I guess you have to get more than one than to display multiple of the faceplates, right? But thank you so much, Moose. You're too kind, my friend. As always, thank you so much for the amazing support. And perfect timing. I'm going to move us now because we got the full squad here.
Hey.
What's up, boys?
Mike returns.
What's happening?
What is up?
Dude, Mike, I was saying, like, X-Men came in last minute, ready to go with the Wolverine workout gear and the adamantium claws.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
you're
My Super
whopping
X
Mike.
gear just came in today, y'all.
I
just
love
came in
it.
today.
Looks
So
great, dude.
I was expecting you to come in with like some chops and a cigar, dude. He one-upped you, man.
You know what? I was in such a rush to even get to the show. I had a lot, daddy duty stuff going on, but I'm happy to be here, and I'm just basking in the glow of, this how you figure, casual figure. We got X-Men in his Wolverine gear. We got the Nightmare in his Batman gear. So everybody's representing. So.
Everybody's ready, dude. And I got my Ghostface, man. Not at all related to Batman. So.
I'll represent one six-figure focus here.
There you go.
Oh, hell yeah.
But yeah, we were just talking about the Frank Miller Batman announcement. Really cool, really different. I was telling Sean when we first started the stream, like, multiple times we're like, oh, I wonder if, Hono is going to dive into like the comic stuff and do DC stuff. And surprisingly, this is coming from just Hot Toys' main CMS line, which is really cool. And at a extremely fair price point. I feel like that's probably why they didn't go the Hono route, because it's probably like pretty expensive to, develop a body and everything for it. But like the price point, pretty crazy. They got it so cheap. I'm very, very happy with that. And I get it. It's not like, they're paying licensing fees for an actor or an actress, but still definitely really dope.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry, Mike. Sorry to do this right when you get my boy Blue Tattoo. I forgot Blue Tattoo doesn't like patents, and he was there. That's right. Blue Tattoo was there for the, discussion on Gio's channel. Yeah, Blue Tattoo's not a big fan, but at least he's a fan of the animated series. He's got to be, right? Because he traded me the Joker. Garbage. The suit is great. Hey, at least you like the suit. You got to like something about it, right? Dude, what is my camera doing today? By the way, what's up, Yomo? Yomo says, yo, what up, Hotline Highs? What's up, my friend? A moderator and a good friend, and the GOAT giveaway winner, I feel like, right? I feel like we can all agree. Him and Big Dog Pound, I think they're the GOAT giveaway winners.
Absolutely. Take them out. Take them out.
Yeah, from now on, Yomo and Big Dog Pound, we're just going to have to cut you out of the wheel, dude, when the spinning wheel comes up. Speaking of Big Dog Pound, how could I miss it? It's because Chris isn't here. That's what it is. Big Dog Pound, I'll do my best. I'm going to back up not to blow up everybody's ears. Woo! What's up, Big Dog Pound? We got the adamantium claws. We got the Batman beanie. We got the GOAT, how you figure, back on the panel. And we got Logan himself sucking down the Guinness, ready to have some fun, ready to talk about some figures. Hope I matched Chris's energy there. I don't have the UPS uniform, but we have adamantium claws. What's cooler than that, dude? No bone claws here, man. We don't do bone claws
here.
We don't do that bullshit, man.
The bones on OnlyFans.
What's up, Saiful? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. Love the profile picture. Hopefully I'll get my in-art. Jose was talking about spec fiction. I'll get my in-art, the Batman All-In set eventually from them. They've been responding to my emails, but I don't know when it's going to show up, so hopefully it ships soon. If you guys are curious, if you wanted, a quote for shipping for All-In from Spec Fiction, it was $160 to express that. I was like, I'll wait. I'm good. That's another figure right there. I gotta fight my impatience. The thing that sucks is I have beautiful custom capes and a custom collar just laying around doing nothing because I sold my Hot Toys set because I decided to grab the in-art set. So, yeah, I'll be waiting a bit. What's up, by the way, Christian? I just clicked off without saying hi to you. What's up, Christian? Crosshair Cooper in the house. Christian says, what's up, everybody? Just got my first in-art figure today. In-art Aragorn. Congrats. Did you get these sculpted or the rooted? Kit actually put up, he had in stock for $540, which is retail, some rooted Aragorns earlier. So I hope at least one of you guys was able to grab that. I posted it on the Facebook page, but I thought that was awesome. Because
he got rooted. Yeah. He told me he got the rooted.
Nice. Figure. That's the way to go, dude. That's the way to go. You got to go rooted. We're all rooting for the rooted. I'm just kidding. If you guys like sculpted, I'm being ruthless with this rooted stuff, man. I used to be the only sculpted guy here. Now here I am.
Sculpted looks great, though. I gotta say,
it does.
The sculpted Batman looks awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Joker in a little bit from Hot Toys, and I think their sculpted hair really surprised me on that one. I think they really, and they surprised me in general. Again, we're gonna take a look at Justin's video. He did a great job at comparing the two figures.
Yeah, he did.
Holy shit. I feel like a lot of people who had the in-art and they're just like, oh, I'm not going to get the Hot Toys one. They're going to be rethinking that. We're going to talk about it, though. Moose said he already ordered 2 of the Frank Miller Batmans already. Okay. Well, hey, I guess I kind of read your mind with that. I see Mama Luigi. What's up, Mama Luigi? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, the Dark Hero. I had a lot of people on TikTok that were confused by that when I said this is the Dark Hero by S Hero. They're like, why are you calling it the Dark Hero? I'm like, no, that's literally the name of it. Like, it's a third party. It's like, I guess they're not used to the third party thing over there on TikTok, but I set them straight. I explained it to them. FBJ in the house. What's up, my friend? I hope you're doing well, FBJ. Always great to have you here, my dude. I hope you're doing well. Guys, I'm sure I missed saying what's up to some of you guys. What's up, Illusion Entity? Illusion Entity said Sculpted Aragorn is poop. I have no skin in the game when it comes to the Lord of the Rings stuff, so I don't really judge the Lord of the Rings stuff too harshly because I have no skin in the game. And honestly, I can look at it and be like, that looks awesome, but I don't have any memory reference of that's accurate, that looks correct or not. All I could say is the rooted one, I never understood the criticism of it. I think it looks amazing. It might require a bit more futzing than usual, but dude, it looks friggin' amazing. It looks like a real person to me. FPJ says, my badass. He's talking about the Mars Toys. Why am I blanking? Why am I blanking? The Mars Toys Back to the Future. Oh, dude, I'm freaking blanking.
Oh,
right now.
yeah. The Biff.
Yes, the Biff Tannen. I don't know why that wasn't coming to the tip of my tongue. Yes, the Mars Toys Biff Tannen just got released. Mine should be here today or tomorrow. I will be doing a review. I've been talking to Mars about it because a lot of people were, not too happy with the head sculpts. I wasn't blown away when I saw the photos, so I'll wait to see it in person. Of course, I'll share my honest thoughts in the video. I don't think it's going to be as good as the Penguin for me because I think he did such a great job on those Penguin sculpts, but we'll see. We'll see. And I know he's supposed to be doing Mad Dog and he's supposed to be doing Griff as well. I hope to see those turn out pretty well.
Mad Dog.
Yeah, Mad Dog's a really cool random one. And obviously,
wow.
I didn't expect him to do any Back to the Future 3 stuff, but he said he's doing all 3, so we'll see. But yeah, the sculpts, yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about him. I want to see it in person, but congrats on that. I'm glad you got yours in already. Real quick before we move on, Mad Dog Tannen, yes sir. And I know some people were mentioning they wanted Claire as well, which is like I don't know how well that would sell. It would be cool, but Mike, did you have any thoughts on this Frank Miller Batman? We spent a lot of time staring at these photos because we've just been get deep in random discussions, but Mike, what are your thoughts on this one? Are you going to be picking this one up? I'm picking this one up. Apparently Moose got 2 of them. Moose is a huge fan of the Frank Miller stuff, so he's all in. What about you? What are your thoughts?
It's cool.
But I already know where this is going.
It's cool. I don't know if I need this. I know that's like sacrilege, but I don't know. This design has never been, and I love the story, and it has its rightful place in comic history and the influence it's had on the franchise, the character and the property in general. But this design on its own, like I kind of need a Superman to go with him. I need to flesh this out a little bit more. I don't necessarily need this singular Batman on my shelf. I would love to have seen like a Neil Adams, or there's a few different other Batman for me that I would think would go better on my shelf than this one. It's never been my favorite design, like I said. I would actually prefer the blue with the yellow logo. My representation of this, I'm happy with having like the new 2.0 Batfleck to represent this look for me, like with the rest of the way my collection looks. So I think they did a great job with him, but I don't need him yet. I'm not convinced that I need him, so I haven't pre-ordered him yet, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's also like, I feel like as cool as this is, it's more of a niche figure, so I don't think you're going to need to run to grab it right now. You got some time to think it over. With a lot of this stuff, you got a little bit of time to think it over And like you said, there might be other stuff that comes out with it where you're like, oh shit, well, okay, I kind of want it now. And maybe that's all it takes. But if you don't see the vision right now, it makes sense to pass.
If they give me a Superman to pair him with, and I kind of create that fight scene or something, and then make a little diorama out of it. But as a singular figure, I'm going to pass for now.
Yeah. Another one that I would love to see, and this is unrelated, I would love to see Hot Toys take a stab at Batman Who Laughs. I've always loved that design. It's just so freaking cool to me, and it's just so unique. And as a big fan of the Hellraiser series, it just reminds me so much of the Cenobites. I just love the design, and I'm like, dude, like, you know, no one's going to give me a proper, you know, Pinhead or any of the other Cenobites, so why not have a consolation prize and get the Batman Who Laughs? That would be really cool. I know a third-party company did it, and there's been a bunch of incredible statues, but that third-party one just looked goofy to me. I wasn't a huge fan of it. Yeah,
I would love like a Greg Capullo, and there's a number of different Batman designs. Like this kind of like bulky looking Batman. Again, it looks better in the context of the full art from the book than it does just as one figure on my shelf with the rest of my collection.
That makes sense. Blue Tattoo says, I love the animated series Batman for sure. I have the SSR animated Batman on order. That's awesome. Jazz Inc. Batmobile, and any Batman the Animated Series figures that are coming from SSR, nothing from Mondo. Yeah, I'm passing on the Mondo stuff. Like I said, I'm a big fan of the S-Hero stuff. Even like the new Batman Adventures Batman, that's the one that released first, which is
that's the one that that's
so weird they released that first. I don't know why, but I love it, dude. And, you know, obviously the new Batman Adventures was still a good addition to Batman the Animated Series, which is what they group it with now. But they obviously ruined a lot of the characters' looks in that one season show. I don't know why I guess I don't want to say I don't know why, because obviously they changed it to kind of go along with the newer shows that were coming out, like Justice League and everything. But it's very interesting that they went with that one first. I guess because they released the Superman first, they're like, might as well release this one, you know, to kind of garner those sales. And now the only bullshit thing with them is they released a new body, which I already ordered. They released a new body where
what was that about?
So the red doesn't fully match on all of the parts, which never bothered me. I didn't like, dude, from far back, it doesn't bother me. But I guess enough people mentioned, they were like, cool, more money. So they made a new body with all of the red matching. They repainted the head sculpts. So they're offering the head sculpts again as well. And then now they have split cut boots. So I'm like, well, shit, there's no way they're not going to go back and do that for the other ones, right? So is this going to be like a never ending thing? Or are they just going to include, like, you know, swap out boots with the rocker ball joint in that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But I feel like they're going to keep doing it. Like, why would they just release split cut boots for one of them, you know? So they're probably going to do it for that one. If I was them, S-Hero, I'm sure you're not listening, but if someone from S-Hero ever sees this, start including swap out boots with the figure so you don't have to sell people a whole nother body. Because the crazy thing is, too, there's two separate bodies. The original figure came with a drape cape and a wired cape. You can't buy just the drape cape or the wired cape with the new bodies because it's built into the figure. So there's two SKUs for the bodies that both come with either the drape cape or the wired cape built in, and then the head sculpts are separate. So it's like, it's crazy to me. But yeah, long rant about S-Hero. I love them, but that was like, what the hell, man?
That Wonder Woman is crazy, though.
It is. I'm very excited for that. It does have visible joints like the Mondo stuff, but I feel like they did a better job at concealing it. And they, you know, Mondo is mainly all plastic, from what I understand, right? Like it's mostly all plastic parts.
You saw her joints?
Yeah, on the Wonder Woman.
I can't see anything on that figure except for that giant ass. Jesus Christ. That thing is huge.
It's not like Fortnite where they nerfed Miss Incredible. But Matthew Green, what's up, by the way, Matthew? Matthew says needs a 90s comic book Robin or 90s purple suit Catwoman. Yeah, that was part of the reason why I got that Arkham series Catwoman. I really like that purple. It really stands out. And you know, for me, I have like an alternate universe with the Imposter Joker, the WB 100 Batman. I'm like, that would fit really nice with them. So that's what I'm doing with mine. Guys, we're gonna move on because I feel like this next discussion is going to be very, very interesting, particularly because it really caught a lot of us off guard. And if you guys haven't seen this video yet, you're going to be in for a pretty big surprise when you see the side-by-side comparisons. And again, big shout out to Justin. And I'm kind of going to skip through some of the stuff here, but there's a couple things in the video in particular. Number one, thank God Hot Toys decided to be a little bit more clever about the head sculpt cases, because before it was just the giant square, which worked. But this is awesome. It's got like a little like mini display plaque on it. Like, you know, Justin mentioned in the video, like no one's going to display it like this. And that's true. Like you're just going to have a headless Joker if you do this, but it's really cool. The attention to detail, right? The attention to detail is really cool. I love that it says the Joker name on the front. And even, you know, peering through the plastic here, you could see that head sculpt is freaking incredible. And I also want to show you something else. This base design is insane. So there's a lot going on here with such a simple looking base. Number one, you have LEDs in the Bat logo. You can have it breathing, or you could have it like just a flat, you know, I think it's like an orangish color or red maybe. Those little stones on the top, 3 of those remove, and that's where you could put the clear waist grabber if you want to use the waist grabber. But also, it comes with a little clear peg that you could peg into his foot, which is incredible. The reason I say that, my in-art Joker on that magnetic base falls over at least once a week. And I'm not even, I wish I was lying. At least once a week, my in-art Joker falls over. And I've got him posed like kind of leaning back more because I know he's going to fall over. So I know he'll cushion his fall against the wall. That's how like bad it is. So I'm about to swap that base out. But this is very clever. Very, very clever, this base. It seems like Hot Toys on this figure, they realized the statement they could make with this because of, you know, everybody has the in-art one. Everybody loves the in-art one. The in-art ones are great. They went all out for this. So this base is dope. Like I said, it's got a light up feature and also has a breathing feature on it. Oh, so it's like an orange. It looks amazing. It's a great looking base. Simple, you know, really detail friendly. I love it. Let me see if I can fast forward a little bit. So this is what I was talking about, how the rocks pull out and you could put in this little clear peg holder with the waist clamp. I hate waist clamps, so I'm not using it, but it's cool that it has it. The really clever thing, which I briefly mentioned earlier, are these little plastic pegs. And you know, look at 3.75 and 6-inch scale figures. They've been doing something like this for years. And obviously, like the hesitancy with 6-scale figures is probably like the realism, but I feel like Hot Toys has done such a good job at masking it and hiding it when you peg the foot onto the peg. It's a great solution. You know, will it hold up over time? Will the figure sag off? We don't know that yet, obviously. But just at first glance, I think it's pretty clever. And, you know, again, this technology is nothing new in other scales. They've been doing it for years with the foothold pegs. You know, ever since the Kenner days, they've been doing it.
It's just a weight really thing cool. With 6-scale, right? You know, ankle joints, knee joints, shit like that.
I'm very curious because the peg is actually pretty decently long. So I wonder if it's in that, there's like enough meat in that shoe to hold it on there. It's kind of like, you know, the in-art system with Superman. It's a new thing. We kind of have to see how it holds up over time. But I do like it. I like the concept. I think it's cool. And like the indie ankle grabber that they did, that's really cool as well. But yeah, I just wanted to show that. Sorry for like the long rant. We'll skip over the accessory stuff because, you know, they're accessories. But I do want to take a look at the figure and then we'll get everybody's thoughts on it. But at first glance, guys, he looks freaking awesome. Like, and you'll get a comparison with InArt later in this video, but truly, and this is not like stirring the pot or anything like that. I own the InArt Rooted Joker 2-pack. I think this looks better, and I cannot believe I'm saying that. I really cannot. And I wasn't sure as I was watching the video what I would think, because I was looking at this and I was like, holy shit, this looks really good. When Justin puts them side by side, your mind clicks. If you haven't seen this video yet, you might have that same epiphany. When you see them side by side, I was truly like flabbergasted. And I don't know if, you know, some things on the InArt, you know, might look a bit more accurate and vice versa. You know, it's going to be one of those things when you put them head to head, you might find stuff you like. But generally speaking, just from a figure standpoint, I think the Hot Toys looks better. I love how the coat sits. You'll see like the coat really rests really nicely on the shoulders in comparison to the InArt. I think the head sculpt's better on the Hot Toys. The hair, in terms of like the way it's rooted, looks a little bit better on the InArt. But where Hot Toys wins on the hair is not having that overly ginger root issue that a lot of the InArt sculpts have. I think Hot Toys did a great job. And another thing that they did that was very clever, you know, on the InArt, basically the whole back hair piece pulls off on the rooted hair. Hot Toys made this like smaller little window on the back of the head that's underneath of the hair. So you kind of lift the hair up and pull the panel off, which also has some rooted hair on it. but it kind of avoids touching the rooted hair as much as you normally would with the in-art one. And I think that's very clever. There's just a lot of stuff that I'm just shocked that Hot Toys put so much effort into it. Even down to the fact that Justin said the head sculpt, you can adjust the position, like the height of it, you can adjust, which is awesome. There's just so much like quality of life stuff. So I'm going to pass it to you guys. I know I'm kind of like going in on it, but like I was just extremely impressed when I saw this video. I feel like Hot Toys really realized that they had something to prove with this figure, because, you know, everybody was really happy about the in-art one, and you're making a figure after such a great release from in-art. You got to show your stuff, and they did it on this one. And you know, it's a little early to say it, but I feel like if this delivers in hand to what I'm seeing here, this might be one of the best Hot Toys figures ever. That's how impressed I am with it. And obviously, that's just first impressions, not having it in hand. What I'm seeing here, I'm seeing a lot of not cutting corners like Hot Toys sometimes does. I'm seeing a lot of attention to detail. I'm seeing a lot of realism. And if they can maintain this for the Artisan line moving forward, boy, that Jack Sparrow is going to be the shit. That rooted Anakin is going to be the shit. A lot of these figures, that Scarlet Witch, that Black Widow, like, this is very exciting. And I hope this wasn't just a showpiece to show in art, like, hey, we can do this too. I hope this was, no, this is what we're bringing to the table moving forward for these rooted hair figures. So I'm going to jump to Justin first. Justin, I don't know if you have any skin in the game. I don't know if you have any Jokers in your collection currently, but just at face value, looking at this release from Hot Toys, man, what are your thoughts? Like, did it impress you? Did it turn out as good as you thought it would, or better maybe?
Yeah, this turned out better, man. And this was arguably my most anticipated Hot Toys of the year. Like, you know, this year I really wanted to go all in on the Dark Knight trilogy, one of my favorite, you know, trilogies of all time. It's been a great year to collect that. My first, you know, official year in the hobby. So I missed out on like pre-ordering the Artisan. But after seeing the Artisan, and the sculpted looks great. Don't get me wrong, the sculpted looks great. But once you see this Artisan, dude, I just don't know how there's any way I'm not going to be able to get that one. I mean, this is one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite films. I got to get the Artisan. I'll pay the extra secondary market. I hate to do it, but I mean, it looks phenomenal. I mean, I'm honestly wondering where we go at this point. Like, what's the next step of realism? Because this is getting so realistic to me that, like, I don't really even know what the next stage is going to be at. Like, it's impossible to do it almost any better at this price point. So all that says to me is they're going to give us new innovation, but the price is also going to skyrocket as well. So yeah, I don't know, man. Enjoy these $280 figures while you can, because everything shows, all signs are pointing to that this is the direction that every company is going. And you're about to start, the base entry for these things are about to be 400 plus, like base entry. So,
even caustic plastic, Justin, you know, we were just talking about it this morning. Like, everybody's jumping in. They're jumping in, and, like, you know, if it sells, they're going to do it. And, you know, testament to Hot Toys for realizing, and I just want to, Justin, I'll pull up this comment real quick, because absolutely AJ is right. You know, NART does deserve credit. Hot Toys has always been a great company, but NART certainly lit a fire under their ass. You can't deny it, dude. Hot Toys, you know, when the NART Joker came out, it just freaking created a storm, dude. Like, NART garnered so much support so fast for good reason. You know, they were doing a figure that needed to be done again, and they did a great job on it, a fantastic job on it. But certainly, you know, with all the talk of people comparing NART to Hot Toys reads these comments. You know, all these companies have PR people that read the comments and shit. There's no denying Hot Toys, like, Howard took that personally, man. Whether he saw him as a threat or not, I highly doubt he saw him as a threat, but he surely saw the impact they were making and the footprint they were creating in the market, and he took it and ran with it, dude. And, like, that's why the Artisan line was born, and, you know, you can't deny that. Hot Toys had no interest in rooted hair prior to, you know, real rooted hair, we should say, like the wool rooted hair. They've done rooted hair before, but it was like that nylon crap. You know, Hot Toys, they dipped their feet in with the WB100 Wonder Woman. I think it was a fantastic first dip into the wool rooted hair. I love that figure. And we're seeing progression here. We're seeing a lot of progression here. And even, Justin, looking at this photo here, the comparison between the imposter sculpt, a lot of people's complaints were like, that hair is way too voluminous. There's too much volume. Look how much volume they took out in the final product. They listened. Because this is the same sculpt. It's painted differently. The hair is a little bit different. It's colored differently. But it's the same base sculpt, so.
Yeah, dude, and that's the thing with this sculpt in particular. And again, all we could go based on is these videos, these pictures. Of course, when we see it in hand, we'll see. But I'm just saying, man, everything that I've seen so far, for this to be their first artisan release, they didn't cut any corners on this, man. This feels like a true premium release. This feels like contender for figure of the year for sure. And again, man, the hair and the face and the paint apps and the age lines and just the sunken eyes, the scar tissue on the lips that they were able to show off on this, it's incredible, man. And it truly looks like a living, breathing figure. Like these figures are now starting to look living like things, like literally like on your shelf, kind of like, you know, that sculpt right there with the rolling eyeballs and everything, like as good as some of these other figures are, man, without the rolling eyeballs, without the, you know, artisan hair. But now, dude, the realism is just getting there. And one of my favorite things about this figure, man, again, the head sculpt is definitely the star of the show, but I love the wide shoulders, because Heath Ledger in that movie, very, very wide shoulders, very, you know, Heath Ledger's a pretty big guy. And so
he was like what, 6'2" or something. He's very tall.
Yeah, and so I really think they got the proportions right. I think they got the you know, the tailoring looks fantastic. I think in this video from Justin's collection, I think he mentions how good the tailoring is as well. I have a couple of the Fantastic Beasts figures, and the tailoring on those are amazing. So this just looks even better. The weathering on the coat, the weathering on the buttons. Yeah, dude, just a phenomenal release, man. I mean, I'm excited, but I also know, like, once people start buying all these, like, it's just a sign of things to come in. We're like, now the bar's been set. Now it's like, okay, if Hot Toys doesn't deliver on this going forward with their other artists and stuff, we're going to look back and be like, dude, why didn't you do that? You did that for the Joker. Let's make sure we do that for all the characters.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping. This isn't just like a F you to InArt. We could do just as good as you, if not better. Like, I'm hoping, like, this is like, no, this is what we're bringing for Artisan. Because, like, imagine, like, Jack Sparrow do with the rooted dreads and everything, and, like, the weathering they could put on a pirate. Like, imagine what they could do with that. Like, if they really go this hard, and this is what I was mentioning earlier, guys, how clever is this for the back of the hair? It's a smaller little plate that's underneath the rest of the hair, and I think that was the best way to do it. Like, look how tiny it is. Perfect.
Yeah.
You don't
even says in the video that you can leave it. Yeah.
He did say that.
You can leave it off. Yeah.
Right. Which, if you adjust the eyes often, yeah, I would do the same thing. If you adjust I probably won't adjust the eyes. I'll find like a really good pose and leave it there for a while.
Yeah.
But if you adjust your poses very often, like that's a perfectly valid point. But again, like I want to give Justin credit. Like, he does such a good job at showing like the difference in the eyes shifting and how you could change the expression on the sculpt so easy. Like that little subtle head tilt that Heath Ledger was known to do. And dude, when he puts the tongue in, the tongue is great. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it in the final product. The tongue is awesome, dude.
It looks better on video than it did in those blogger photos. The tongue mechanic.
I
still prefer this sculpt with the open mouth showing the bottom teeth, but it does look better in this video for sure.
I agree. Yeah, Harley Quinn's going to be a really cool one. I can't wait for that one. I've been waiting for a Harley since the beginning of time, so I'm really excited for that one for sure. Yeah, everybody needs the Harley, dude. Everybody's got to get the Harley. Come on now.
Yeah, Connor, I'll close up my thoughts on this because I want to hear everybody else's opinion on this piece. But I will just say, like, for me, like, this is my first Joker in the collection. This is my first Heath Ledger Joker. So for me, I'm like 11 out of 10 excited. Can't wait to get in. I know some people have been collecting for a lot longer than me, maybe even have a little bit of a, you know, Heath Ledger Joker fatigue, maybe Joker fatigue in general. So I think that going forward, like when we start seeing some of the, like you mentioned, the Jack Sparrow, like when we start seeing pieces of characters that don't come out as often, I'm really excited to see what they do with those artisan pieces going forward as well. This gives me hope that, like, dang, dude, we're about to have not only them, InArt's obviously doing it, Caustic Plastics next with the Maestro line. Like, we're about to just have just absolute masterpiece figures.
Replacing every figure slowly with rooted.
Exactly, dude. That's the scary part. That's truly the scary part about it, man, is like once you have this in your collection, it's tough to like put something else next to it, man. It's like now you got to get that, you know, you got to get that most upgraded Batman
better out there. It's like, you know, it's like the Eric Draven. Once I found out Caustic was doing a rooted, I'm like, well, see ya, Sideshow one. I love that figure.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Rick, this was not limited to 300. I don't remember the number on this one because they did a sculpted. I think Sean, you probably know.
I actually don't know.
Damn it, Sean! I thought you knew.
I know. I should.
Dude, this expression's wild right here in this video.
He's
horrible, man.
I think this was 4,000.
What was it? 4,000.
I think this was 4,000. I think someone looked that up a couple of days ago.
Okay.
When we were on Canon, I think somebody looked it up and it was 4,000.
4,000.
I'm
So
pretty sure.
what's going to happen with this one, guys? I'm calling it now. The prices on this is going to be fucking insane. Like, truly, the prices on this one's going to be insane because a lot, I was like unsure if I was going to get it, but I'm like, you know what? I want to see what Hot Toys can do and compare it with my NR1. Obviously, I'm glad that I did because the final product is incredible, but a lot of people, understandably so, already had a great option from Minart. They passed on this one. So I think a lot of people are going to have a little bit of regret and, either would want to have both or want to replace their Minart one. Who knows? It's all personal preference at the end of the day. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the secondary market on this one. But yeah, well said, Justin. Sean, we're going to jump to you. I'm going to read one more comment because I thought, this is kind of going off of what Justin said, so I wanted to read it before we move on to you. Joe P. What's up, by the way, Joe? Joe says, what's next? I could see Hot Toys coming up with something where a figure's chest goes up and down to make them look like they're breathing. It's getting... Dude, it's like some Disney, like, Avatar World type stuff where they have, like, the Banshee breathing in the ride. Like, can you imagine? Yeah, I mean, this is obviously, like, the next evolution in collecting with the rooted hair and, like, hopefully no more pleather. Like, let's start at no more pleather with Hot Toys because I'm sick of that. That's what I'm sick of. Let's start at no more pleather, then we'll get to the breathing stuff. But nah, yeah, all jokes aside, like, yeah, it's getting really interesting. They're doing a lot of really cool stuff, and I'm excited to see where it goes. And I'm very happy with this current phase that we're in right now of collecting with rooted hair and everything. It's just really cool, man. Yeah, Sean, sorry, jumping to you, Sean. Obviously, we haven't gotten to the comparison yet in this video of the full figure. But we will have a comparison of the full figure very shortly between InArt and Hot Toys. We'll be able to see them side by side. And I think that for me, like the sculpts, obviously I prefer the Hot Toys sculpt. I already said that, even though I really like the InArt one. But seeing the two figures next to each other, I was like, damn, I think I like the Hot Toys one more. And I never thought I would say that because it really puts it in perspective.
Why would you doubt Hot Toys?
Oh, Sean, I don't doubt Hot Toys, but it's like when you have an example of what you believe to be a nearly perfect representation of the character, it's hard to think that anybody could, in your mind, do better than that, It's like, I'm in love with this figure. I got my Joker, and I was hesitant to pre-order the Hot Toys one because I'm like, I'm so happy with the InArt one. So it wasn't that I doubted Hot Toys. I was just like, can it even get better than this? So, I'm pleasantly surprised to see that apparently it can. So yeah, that's my statement on that, and
I think that's the thing is once we see what they're capable of doing, and whoever commented about InArt rate, yeah, I totally agree. All these companies are raising the bar and like the competition. I mean, you see it in sports all the time. Like the competition, dude, just elevates your game even higher. And so again, man, this is a great thing, but it's also like a kind of a bad thing for Hot Toys because now they've shown what the bar is. And it's like now future releases with artists, and it's like it's got to reach this level, or we're gonna be like, dang man, we know we've seen what you can do. Let's continue to see what you can do with the other characters, So
I agree. I totally agree. Like Jack Sparrow, I have faith in the Anakin. Anakin's hair is a bit difficult to nail though, because it's got those waves in it and stuff, and so. And we've seen the Anakin hair look amazing, and then in some displays where they didn't really give too much crap about properly futzing it looked a little goofy, so hoping that one turns out. And thank you, Jordan. Jordan is our resident Heath Ledger Joker expert, by the way, so yeah. When she says 6'1", I trust that it's 6'1", so thank you for correcting me on that. So 6'1", Heath Ledger's height, and yes, 4,000. Jordan confirmed that for us. Yeah, she's really into Heath Ledger. Like she's got some incredible like limited run custom head sculpt. She's like sources like special coats and pants and everything, and it sounds like she's going to be trying to source some of the parts from the Hot Toys one to kind of make an amalgamation of her custom parts and stuff, which is really cool. Like, Hot Toys did the toe blades on the shoes, which is really cool, which I think they did on the DX11, right? The DX11 had the toe blades, I think.
The quarter scale had the toe blade.
The quarter scale had it. Okay, quarter scale had it. But Sean, going back to you. Oh, and Sean, one more thing that I want to point out, which another really cool thing, and then sorry, Justin mentioned in this video, you guys know, we all know this. Any figure that has socks, the freaking sock gets sucked into the ankle peg every single time when you pose it. Hot Toys literally went through the effort to put some sort of sleeve inside the sock so that doesn't happen. And I'm like, dude, just little stuff like that I appreciate, because InArt didn't do that. They didn't do that on theirs, and I'm just like,
all three of them are the same.
Really cool, just really cool. Sorry, Sean, this just came up, and I was like, I wanted to point that out because I was like that. Like every third party figure I have, the socks are just sucked into the ankle peg, and it bothers the crap out of me.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Sean.
All right, so I'm on wait list for the artisan version. I did order the sculpted, just in case. So if I have a chance of getting the artisan versus the sculpted, I'll obviously cancel the sculpted, but
yeah,
because I don't need both. I already have one of the other Jokers from before. I have the bank robber. I have the quarter scale one. I love the display base.
Me too.
Which is really great. A lot of improvement on that. The tailoring looks better than the previous version also. But Howie is right about the whole entire thing with, prices are going to go up, unfortunately. Hopefully Hot Toys plays it smart and they give us still sculpted and artisan versions, because there's a lot of things I don't need an artisan version of, like the Scarlet Witch from Endgame. I don't need the artisan version of that.
I also hate to see people miss out.
With the sculpted.
Yeah, I hate to see people miss out too. So it's nice that they have that to fall back on. Like kind of like you said, I pre-ordered the sculpted. If I can get the rooted, cool, I'll cancel the sculpted. Because here's the thing. Yeah. All right, and let me pause this on the screen here, because this is But yeah, that's why I like that they do the sculpted version. I'm always going to go for the rooted version, but to have that alternate option where everybody can get a character that they love, like Jack Sparrow, for example, they had like a base DX version, which still had rooted wool hair, which was awesome, and I thought they were smart about breaking that up with, one has rooted dreadlocks and the other one doesn't. That was a good way to break it up. Most people aren't going to care about that unless you're like a crazy, Disney / Pirates fan like me, like Justin, like Chris, like a lot of other people, like X-Man, so we care about that stuff. But the average collector, they're like, dude, hell yeah, I get wool hair and I don't have to spend all this extra money, and I love that. I love collectors being able to get it, and I also love the limited availability of the artisan. I'm one of those people. I love the chase. It's like a drug to me. I don't do real drugs, so I gotta have a drug, and that's the artisan chase. That's what it is. But yeah, Sean, this photo, dude, I was like, well, I usually don't watch a lot of reviews before I get a figure, if I intend on doing a video on it or something. But I was just very curious about this, and when I saw this particular shot right here, dude, I was in disbelief. You can ask the guys in the Facebook group. I screenshotted this and I immediately posted in the chat, and I was like, Hot Toys popped off. They really, and how is it that you see these two side by side? And at least to me, when I look at the Hot Toys, and I'm like, it looks like considerably better to me. For and it might be just in figure form. I prefer what Hot Toys has done here. I don't know accuracy wise. I don't want to get down to that level. But just in a figure representation form, I much prefer how the Hot Toys, the overall package looks. Will I be selling my InArt ones? No. I still really enjoy the InArt ones. I still think they look fantastic. But again, I just think Hot Toys brought their A game on this one. And again, I can't believe I'm saying it, because I expected the Hot Toys to be very good, but the InArt might edge it out a little bit. And I'm thinking the exact opposite here. So yeah, Sean, when seeing these side by side, what are your thoughts? When you compare the stature, the Hot Toys shoulders, they got that boxy look of Heath Ledger. And Justin was saying in the video too that it feels like Hot Toys sculpted in that slouch, so you don't have to fight to make the slouch happen. It's just sculpted into the body, which is very clever, because that's that Heath Ledger signature slouch. Everybody poses their Heath like that because that's what he looks like.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Sean?
Overall, Hot Toys did it better, not just because I'm a fan and I'm not a fan of InArt. So, full disclosure here, I think InArt's kind of a piece of shit company, but that's just me. And that's my personal opinion, but that's really it. One thing that InArt did that I really appreciate is how they created a new diorama base for the gel scene. That was a really good idea. And I wish Hot Toys would start doing more. They showed us they can with the whole 89 Batman. 2.0 deluxe version.
Yeah.
Coming with the staircase. However, I don't remember freaking Vicky Vale having size 15 shoes. But whatever, it's like
I never thought of that. That shoe is kind of big. Hey, it's a background piece. We'll just
I think Sean, don't you think that they're not gonna stop with this this sculpt? They're gonna use this again, I would imagine. I could totally see in Hot Toys doing a jail cell version without the gloves, with the painted hands. Don't you think, Sean, that they might revisit that, or not revisit it, but maybe give us that option?
I think they will later as some type of exclusive, but I think the next thing that we get with this is the Nurse Joker.
Yeah. Real quick, Stevie, the left one is the Hot Toys. I don't know if you're trolling because you troll me all the time, but
didn't somebody say that Warner Brothers doesn't want anyone to do the Nurse Joker?
Somebody's been saying that, but there's no confirmation of it.
So that came from John.
Okay.
That came from John at NR. He said that the licensor wouldn't allow it, but we also heard that we wouldn't be able to get the Joaquin Phoenix Joker by himself, and then something changed for the Joker 2 film.
That's true. Yeah, if it came from John from NR, then yeah, never mind.
Right. So who knows what could happen in the future?
Well, John from InArt said also that they couldn't charge less than $1,000 for this.
Right, but he did say that, but I think Hot Toys, their workaround for that was using the Joker 2 license. I think that was probably true for the first film, but for the second film, obviously Hot Toys was able to finesse it, and they were able to do it. But yeah, I'm still on the side of I don't think Nurse Joker is impossible. I just don't. I feel like they can make it happen. I want a bank robber. I want a new bank robber. Like Justin said, like if they reuse this sculpt, give us the bank robber Joker. Give us a masked head, perhaps, where it looks like a little less goofy throwing the mask on there.
Another cop, maybe?
Dude. I saw earlier someone shared in the Facebook group, like someone had a full bank robber scene. They had all of the goons. They had the bus diorama. Dude, it was friggin' incredible. I'm so jealous.
Well, there was someone a few years ago had a diorama piece where the bus literally broke out. They cut a bus in half.
That's crazy. I don't have room for that, but that's so cool.
They basically cut it in half and cut it into 4 parts, and then basically used their shop that they had and basically expanded the pieces to where it could be as close to 1/6 as possible to fit on a shelf, to make it bigger, and basically welded all the metal in and everything, crazy. And then flattened it out. So it was a pretty good idea.
And look, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker that they're coming out with, I think is a sign of things to come. I think they saw what InArt was doing with those diorama bases, kind of like that Harry Potter diorama base, the gel cell, like y'all were talking about. To have that backdrop with that chair as like a diorama base for that Joker, I would just be shocked if they don't start going that direction. Like that's the new ultimate release, I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if Artisan Deluxe isn't even the highest tier of what they're going to come out with. I'm sure they're probably going to have another tier of something
like J&D with their whatever they're doing. And by the way, Jordan, yes, I know it is Joker 1, but if you look at the print under the announcement, it says Joker 2 on the licensing. So I'm guessing they were able to group it in with that licensing. I don't know. And sorry guys, there's a lot of comments piling. Let me read a couple comments and we'll continue our discussion. By the way, what's up, Kaiju Daddy? Guys, we got 72 people watching for this awesome discussion about 2 great companies, 2 great Jokers going head to head. And then dude, it's so funny how the new sculpt, even though it's the same sculpt, just looks a lot better than the imposter one. But we could let it slide with the imposter because it's like a what if thing, I could let it slide. But by the way, what's up, Kaiju? Thank you so much for being here, bro. Guys, check out Kaiju Daddy on YouTube. Thank you so much for making it. I know it's hard because of the time zone difference. But thank you so much for being here, my friend. And yes, I will. Daft Punk will be. We got one more topic before Daft Punk, and we'll talk about Daft Punk because I'm very excited for that. And that was just such a random, hell yeah. I did not expect anyone to do that. So, what's up, by the way? Andrea is a channel member and a good friend. Andrea says, this looks great, but there's too many good releases for me to get duplicate figures. Same outfit. That is totally understandable. And like I said, guys, the whole point of this stream and this discussion is not to shit on those who own the InArt one. I own the InArt one. I love it. I will continue to love it. But I think there's a new king. And even, you know, I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't seen the video, but even Justin says in his video, he's like, I definitely think the Hot Toys Joker looks better overall. So, I'm as surprised as you guys are. It was a very surprising turn of events with this figure, but I'm very pleased. Indiana Bones says, showing them next to each other, Hot Toys looks so much better. Yeah, it's like one of those things, and I've said this many times, and we've talked about this on the stream. It's like the DX19, for example. I love that figure as like a standalone, you know, the DX19, the Dark Knight representation of Batman. I love it. But then when you saw the new one that came with the set and all the things they improved, you didn't realize how much better it could get unless you really, you know, one of those people that really can dissect the details and is good at it. When I saw the new version that came with the armories, I was like, well, that one's way better, so I have to ditch my DX19 now because I'm getting the armories. So it's like one of those things, like until you see something in comparison, you don't really realize like where improvements can be made because you have it in front of you. You're like, this is so good. And that's, you know, that's how I felt about the InArt. I was just like skeptical that Hot Toys could one up them, but
it's kind of like video game graphics, Connor. It's like, and you're seeing it with the PS5. It's like we're getting to the point like how much better can it actually get, and that's kind of what we're seeing like with video game. It kind of reminds
me like the PS5 and the PS5 Pro. Like you were surprised at that little difference, how much it makes when you see like the stills and stuff. Like
yeah, but like you said, you don't like when you're playing a PS3 game back when it came out when you had the PS3.
Right?
You thought that was the best looking game you've ever seen,
dude.
And then all of a sudden the PS4 comes out.
Yeah, there's this classic video. You saying that reminds me of this classic video. There's a video of these guys standing in line for the PS2 release, and they're just talking about it, and like the person's interviewing them. They're like, "Oh, like what are your thoughts?" And he's like, "It literally looks like a real person." And then someone, it's like a meme video, so they pull up a shot of you know the meme from San Andreas where Carl's got no neck, and he's like this. Someone that comes up on the screen. Dude, that video makes me crack up every single time. But yeah, so yeah, that's a great point. It happens a lot with video game consoles too. It's like you get one, and then you know 6 months later there's a pro version or a light version, and then you're like, you know, sometimes you're happy with what you got. Sometimes you're like, let me try out the new one. You know, it all depends on personal preference. And do you really want to spend all that extra money for like a 15% improvement or whatever? You know, just a random number thrown out there. But yeah, David says, I still love my InArt, but hey, we're freaks, 2 Banes, 2 Jokers. How many Batmans in the collection? Why so serious? I know, dude, when it comes to Batman, my Batman collection's getting pretty crazy, but I'm enjoying it. I've said this to my buddies a lot. I'm very much enjoying collecting Batman, especially right now. I just have a lot of passion for it. Batman and Predator and just everything. Everything that they're putting out, guys, is it's awesome. They're just doing so much off-the-cuff stuff. But Sean, do you have any closing thoughts before we move on to? I'm gonna go move down to Mike.
Yeah. So my closing thoughts are, if you really appreciate Heath Ledger and everything, and if you're questioning it, you know, just pre-order if it's available, the sculpted version, and then if you change your mind, cancel it or whatever. But I think those people who are really big fans of Heath Ledger and they're questioning it right now, if they don't order at least the sculpted version, they're going to regret it. So that's just me. I'd rather see people pay retail price than overboard aftermarket prices.
And like you said earlier, Sean, get on the wait list. If you're looking at the rooted one now and you're like, oh shit, I kind of want this one, get on the wait list. You never know. There's been conversions for the rooted Anakin. So if that can convert, anything can. I
mean, look at me with, you know.
Yeah, Sean, you've been very lucky with the
America. Like how long after?
Like a year at least.
Yeah,
that was crazy. Yeah, he got it for the Stealth Suit 2.0. Sean got a conversion like a year later. So don't put all your hope into wait lists, but it's worth it. It's worth a try. If you're not in a rush to get it, and you're like, oh, let me see if I can get it on the wait list. It's worth a try.
And it is interesting.
Me and like 2 other Wandas converted a couple of months ago. So
yeah,
nice. Yeah, Jack Sparrow. I know. I got the notification for that. So that's happening. But it is interesting to see. Like for me, I don't have a Heath Ledger Joker yet. So to me, this is like, you know, I'm definitely getting this. Like no question.
Oh, you're top hype. You're top hype.
Yeah,
dude, you don't
that's what
have
I'm saying.
Yet. And like to have it for the first time for a character you love so much is such a great feeling.
Yeah, man.
really
And
is.
so I feel for people that are having to make that decision on like, hey man, I invested a lot into this in-art version that I love. It's got an emotional connection to it.
Yeah.
So it's always interesting to hear like the different opinions based on where you're at kind of in your collecting journey. So for me, just a year into collecting like 6 scale, it's like an easy decision. So I know that people that have the in-art that are happy with it, it's a bit more difficult. So
Yeah,
Hey,
well said.
One thing I just wanted to add is, because you mentioned about the armory and everything with the DX19, and have you guys noticed, like, from the Dark Knight Rises, that armory has like passed the expected release date, and there's no update for the release date yet. It still shows like September right now.
I never noticed.
Yeah, I noticed that because I got that on PO, and same thing happened with Bane, dude. I just got the email for Bane saying, "Oh, it's been delayed, November, December."
I want that freaking Bane, dude.
date.
He looks so.
Me too,
good.
man.
He looks so good.
Yeah.
Yomo says, I'm fine with my in-art version of the purple coat. I couldn't resist the imposter version of the Hot Toys purple coat. Looks great. And yeah, like, you got great options across the board, and you love to see variety. And, if anything, maybe the in-art becomes slightly more affordable in the secondary market with more rooted Jokers being introduced to the market, because they've already kind of come down quite a bit. I've seen some crazy deals on the 2-pack that kind of made me disgusted that I bought mine for retail, but I did it differently, though. I bought mine sculpted, and then I upgraded to the rooted sculpts. And shout out to Jordan in the chat. Jordan helped me get my first rooted in-art sculpt. So big shout out to Jordan. She helped me.
Well, I saw the sculpted 2-pack for $350.
Dude, like, for $350, that is a freaking steal, dude.
Yeah.
Like, with the base and everything, that's a steal. Like, you can't go wrong with either one, truly. They both look great, but I'm just very impressed by the Hot Toys. I wanted to jump to Mike, though, because I feel like Mike probably has some good comments, and I feel like I picked him last time. So we're going to jump to Mike. We're going to skip over X-Man.
No, I
go back to X-Men after, so I'm jumping to Mike.
I have no good comments, man, on this one. I'm sorry. I've been sitting here listening to you guys just as I would listen to any other show with great commentary. I think you guys like crushed everything. I'm sitting here like messing around with this guy. That's why I got my gloves on, right?
I didn't see you were gloved up. My bad, dude.
Playing with yourself with the gloves too.
Yeah. In my office,
baby oil and everything,
dude. I freaking hate this, and I know it's not the first.
Everybody
to have this.
Does, dude.
It
Everybody
sucks,
hates it.
bro. First of all, what does it connect to? It just rests. I can't even get it to like peg
It
into anything.
Compresses so that it opens up when you press it down on it, which is like,
bro, how hard do I have to like push up on this guy's chest, crotch, or armpits to get the damn? It's so annoying. I'm like actually pissed off.
The worst part with that opening that figure, dude, was the fact that the plastic was under the boots.
The boots.
And I pulled the leg
that
off
drove
with
me
it.
crazy.
The leg came off.
No fucking way.
You're not the
It
only
ended up
one.
pegging back on because I think it was just made to come off. But
I'm
dude,
so
it came
glad
off.
somebody else said that, dude, because I didn't want to admit that was giving me hell. Because I didn't,
Dude, no, it's
I didn't know what I
so
was doing.
annoying. I had to pull off the boots, which are not plastic; they're pleather. So now you got to worry about like crushing those. Then you got to peg them back on, and one wasn't in all the way, so he's like all lopsided. I fixed that. Now the head. Sorry, dude. I'm like pissed. But I'm gonna chill out.
The boots piss me off. Like I said, I love that figure, but I'm sitting there. I'm like, why is this plastic on these boots? You're protecting the pants from the boots. Like, what's the plastic for?
It makes no sense. And then and now I'm like annoyed because my pants are kind of riding up a little bit more than I want them to be. I'm just like.
So I have a trick for that. My trick is you take the bottom of the pants and you twist them around the peg, and then you push, and it'll hold them in place enough to where when it lays. I will say, at least for him, when you actually look at stills from the show, like his pants are actually kind of baggy.
Yeah.
Unlike Rebels, where he's like very like clean cut and everything's like military standard. That was very creepy, by the way.
Yeah.
Dude, no tongue, no teeth.
Oh
yeah, dude.
Oh yeah,
dude. It's like what it reminds me of, Justin. You'll get this reference. Jeepers Creepers. At the very end, when it's playing the song and Justin Long's eyes are missing.
That's a Spirit Halloween mask right there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Sorry, dude. I didn't mean to go on a rant there. I didn't realize.
Dude, that's collecting life.
So,
I like real stuff like that.
So,
That's
Mike, you
collecting
hate
life
this,
right
huh? That's what I'm hearing.
No, I hate that stupid tongue. Is what I hate. I think it's like a cute idea, like that. It makes no sense. The Joker didn't sit there with his tongue out. Why would you ever?
Yeah,
it's just so stupid, man. He flicked his tongue, dude. That's like having a head sculpt with the eyes closed mid-blink and going, isn't that a cool idea? The character blinks sometimes, so he can even close the eyes so you could represent the blink.
The next one will have the movable tongue. The next one's gonna have the movable tongue mechanic, dude. You just press the button,
tongue mechanic,
like a windshield wiper.
Like Venom should have opposable.
And it's gonna be loud as shit too.
Yeah. So
it'll be.
But I will say that aside, and I think you touched on this already. It's what I do appreciate about it though is like there's no compromise. Like it's like a feature you can use it or not.
Yeah,
but there's no compromise. Still looks. You got the teeth. You got a full sculpted. Mouth.
Right, you're like not like stuck with an open mouth sculpt.
No,
like people get pissed off at that. Yeah,
exactly. So it looks great. I mean, every pose. I haven't seen this video yet. But it's like you can't go wrong with anything you do with this figure, other than the tongue thing, in my opinion. But I think they absolutely nailed it in every regard. There is criticism of the hair, which I had this. I feel so badly hearing all you guys say you missed out on it. I had 2 Artisan of these, and I got rid of both of them.
Well, that's Mike's normal tactic. He'll stack up, and then if somebody needs it, he hits them up.
I like to help my friends, but it seemed like everybody.
Dude, it's not your fault. It's not your fault that some people are feeling FOMO seeing the final product. That's on them.
Well, it looks a lot better than what the promo.
It does, like. Dude. But
yeah,
that's what's messing me up right now. Yeah,
you're like, damn it. Trust me, everybody's been saying that. Everybody's like, shit, I should have pre-ordered this one. But
it's really good.
In my defense, dude, I think this went up before I even got into collecting.
Oh yeah, and you're not jumping into Artisan right off the rip anyway. I certainly wouldn't have. I'd have been like, what the hell? I don't need that. I mean, I was like that for a while, actually, for years.
That goes to my other criticism of this figure is like I remember when the pricing came out and both of them went up together. You had the Artisan and Collector Edition, and the Collector Edition is I think $370, which is outrageous. It makes no sense. I mean, I don't understand that, and that really kind of sucks because you're pretty much paying or nearly paying Artisan prices for, I guess, a really cool base. I don't know.
And he was way higher than Anakin too. Like him and Anakin obviously came out around the same time for pre-order, and like I was puzzled by that too. I don't know if they like saw InArt's price and maybe thought like, okay, we can kind of tuck ourselves in somewhere. I don't know. It was very bizarre.
Yeah, it's just like the saying, man. The fire rises, the price rises. I mean, if you got Artisan up here, and you make the gap too crazy, then everybody's going to just go get the sculpted because the value proposition is like, okay, I can go get the sculpted for $300 all in.
Well, what was the price for the Artisan again?
It was like what,
$425? No, something like that.
Let me see.
But
no, dude, it had to be more than that, dude, because the sculpted was high 300s, wasn't it?
The sculpted was $370.
The sculpted was Artisan was join waitlist. It was bro. That is way more than I remember it being. It was $520.
$520.
Yeah,
like
okay.
this is too. I'm sorry, man. Like I think this is awesome. It's too expensive for what it is, especially the collector at $370.
I did not remember it being that much.
Yeah, that's a $305 tops figure.
That's
the sculpted was $370.
Yeah,
that's the bigger concern, and I've been saying it for a while. Like, there is no more collector's edition. Like, collector's is the new deluxe, and deluxe is the new Artisan. Like, that's the and I think that's why the Hano line exists now. It's because that's like the new standard collectors. The prices are just getting. Look, I love this stuff. We get on here and we get excited, dude. We're all in the same boat, thinking everything looks great. I am very nervous about the state of where things are headed, though. Just for me, like it's gonna be less stuff than I'm getting, no question about it. If this is how it's going, which it totally is, that like Mike said, that was a great point that Mike just brought up with like the collector's edition rising in price is a bit concerning, Like
here's the thing, I don't want. So in other words, if there was no Artisan, they would have been laughed out of the, just laughed out of the business at $370 for this figure. They would have had no justification because there's nothing special about this without the Artisan hair. There's no new materials. There's nothing, no new innovation, nothing. And they want $370 for it. That's what bugs me. I don't want the collector counterpart. And like you're saying, Justin, I think that's what you mean. It's like the counterpart to an Artisan figure just existing should not cost more.
Yeah.
No,
you know.
yeah, 100%. That's yeah.
So I really don't want to see
like
that
an
trend.
Anomaly, dude. Like
It was very strange. Nothing
in
since
comparison
has
with
cost
the
that
Anakin,
much.
it made no sense. Like
Nope.
he comes with
Yeah.
more than Anakin, sure, but not enough. I'm just blown away. Like shit, I paid $520. I mean, it doesn't change my excitement for it. I'm still like very excited, but that's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I did not remember it being that much.
I don't mean to
Wait.
crap on anybody's excitement for this, dude. You should be excited.
No, you're
that's
right.
great, man.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Dude, I pre-ordered the 4-pack of the 2019 Joker, so and then we got the second film, so nothing could temper my excitement, you know.
The way they
Well,
did the
now-
Jack Sparrow was my, and I'll be quick, X-Man, because I know I've been talking a lot, but real
Yeah,
quick, I
yeah.
just wanna say,
Fucking guy.
the Jack Sparrow though, while it's on my mind, the Jack Sparrow, I thought they did a perfect rollout of that. You have
Yes.
4 different price
Yes.
options, and you feel like you're getting a true deluxe with that
A
huge
different
diorama
base too, with like
Yeah.
the base version, which I thought was very clever. Like give us something special with the DX and DX Artisan, and then give other people an option to have something cool still, but like dumb it down a little bit. I thought that was very
That was the
clever.
way to
It's just
do
like-
it.
Right, it's like when you buy graphics cards or buy a new computer, like, you know, different specs on RAM and different specs on like that's how it should be. Affordable for people in different eras of collecting. Like not everybody's gonna be able to afford a $520 Joker, you know. It's just that's the reality, and I agree, Justin. I think Hono, like I was talking to Lane before the stream, like $160 for this figure. I feel like Hot Toys really struck gold with something like this, and like, you know, even like Mondo stuff. Say what you want about it if you're not a fan of it. Their pricing, I think, on especially like the animated stuff, I think is pretty fair. They stay in a fair price point. The company I feel like doesn't get enough respect when it comes to pricing is 3-0. 3-0 has always been very true to their pricing. They know that they don't have Hot Toys quality products, but some of their stuff is pretty good. Like the Rambo First Blood Part 2 Rambo, I was very impressed by that for what I paid for it, like $190 or whatever it was. Great figure, great accessories. Like Stranger Things line, that's its own thing. We don't talk about the Stranger Things line from 3-0, but
Wait, what else did 3-0 do? They did the
the
Star Trek stuff,
Transformers.
right?
What was the?
Did they do the Star Trek stuff, or was that somebody else?
That's QMX. Or it was QMX. I don't know who does it now. Is it still QMX?
No, there's somebody else.
Evo 6 or something.
Evo 6, yeah. QMX is out
Oh,
of business.
okay,
Sorry,
okay,
QMX
okay,
went out of
yeah.
business.
Exos, yeah.
Exo6.
Exo6.
Yes.
Those are the ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have believed either one of you because I don't collect Star Trek, but so 3-0 does, they did the Game of Thrones line, they did the Walking Dead, which the Game of Thrones stuff was pretty dang good. You know, of course there was hit or miss where it didn't look like it at all. They did the Walking Dead, they've done all the Transformers, the premium scale 19-inch Transformers and the DLX ones. They do a lot of stuff. But they've always been true to their price points, and you know, I appreciate them for that, and I appreciate Hot Toys for introducing the Hono stuff. And that price creep on the Hono, I hope that doesn't happen. Like we were talking about that price creep. I hope that does not happen.
That Spider-Man is not worth what they put it up for.
No, it's not. I mean, it comes with a decent amount of stuff, but no, it's not. And the
No.
Wolverine, I
Yeah.
feel like, is such a great value for $160. Like, it's such a great value. So I hope they stick. Oh, yeah, and the Fallout. Yeah, don't want to forget those because I have every single one of those on pre-order. And I have the Vault Dweller on pre-order as well.
I was going to add, like, during the Batman conversation, but we kind of ran out of time. But there's a lot more we could talk about. There's a larger conversation about the Batman and the confusion between Hono now and Hot Toys, and why that the Wolverine would look perfect next to that Batman.
Yeah.
They don't look like they're from different companies or
Different qualities,
It's very confusing. Just from like a business perspective, a larger kind of perspective on what Hot Toys is doing. I don't really get it. I don't know.
Well, it's like with the Artisan and the DX stuff, we're losing the distinction between DX and what's a regular, general release. Like, they need to sharpen that distinction for me. Like when you do Artisan, it shouldn't just be about the hair. DX
Right.
Artisan should be the best of everything, the best of the best. And if you do pleather, do it at a much cheaper price point and make people pay. If it's messing with your margins, cool. Keep most of the leather or higher grade materials to the Artisan line if they have to do it that way, and call it a day. Of course, in a perfect world, I would just say no to pleather completely, and that's what I want to see. But if they're worried about their profit margins, make it an Artisan, guaranteed feature with the Artisan, I should say. But yeah, I totally understand, Mike, and I agree. Like, they need to be more distinctive about their stuff. They need to make stuff make more sense, because especially with the DX has been lost for years as to what qualifies a DX release to me. Because DX used to be like, special packaging and, have this, that, and the other, like a diorama, like the DX13, for example, 2 head sculpts, diorama piece. But some stuff comes without all that shit, and then it's not a DX. So it's like, why not? Why is it not a DX? So... finally, though, X-Man, moving on to you to close out our topic on the Joker, and then I'm going to give you the honor. I'm not even going to start first on. I'm going to give you the honor to start us off on our next final big topic of the night, which are the teases.
Yeah.
But close us out on the Joker, share your thoughts, and then, guys, by the way, I did put up a poll, and the poll is strictly for scientific purposes, not for arguing's sake, but I wanted to see, percentage-wise, who would pick the InArt or the Hot Toys if you could pick one. So that's what the poll's for. But go ahead, X-Man.
I think I've only seen any Joker figure on screen to compare them, like here. But I think at that capacity, the Hot Toys one looks a lot better. It scales better. Of course, it would scale better with their Batman because they made both of them.
Right. Yeah.
But definitely the sculpt looks better. I think the hair looks better. I ordered the sculpted hair because it looked better in the promos than the rooted hair did, and it still looks really good. I'm very happy that I have it on order. Do I wish I had gotten the rooted? I don't know. Is it worth it to sit through that queue and deal with all that headache and pay that much more? I don't know if it is. For my purposes, I don't have another. This is gonna be my first and probably only Dark Knight trilogy figure.
That's a good one to pick. If you're gonna have one.
It is
one that could stand on its own.
And my specific purpose for him is, it makes more sense for me to have the sculpted hair, I think, because of how I'm going to use them and who I'm going to use them with. Yeah. But I think that anyone who got the sculpted hair here or the rooted hair here, I think, if you're getting this at retail versus getting everything else at retail, I think you did good.
Yeah.
I think you did really good. Yeah, this is it. This is great. This is fantastic. This is going to be an awesome one. And as far as the tongue goes, baby, I got Peacemaker. I'm about to have that Jazzy and Catwoman. I might even get Venom now too. I'm gonna tongue it up, baby. They're gonna be all together.
Justin Meixner.
It's gonna be a big old. It's gonna be like a big old circle tongue, just getting in it. Getting in it.
Tongues for everyone.
Yep. Venom's gonna be like lining up, in the middle, and then everyone's gonna be like, it's gonna be like tongue hub up in here.
They all just want to taste. I get it.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's really all I got. I think this is.
Yeah, I know we've kind of gushed over it for the past hour or so.
They earned it.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a great way to end it. I think Hot Toys, they earned it, man. They earned the praise, and I think we're gonna close the poll now. And sorry to Jordan, I didn't put a custom figure option in the poll, but I just wanted to see head to head what people would say. Guys, 81% said Hot Toys. I don't know what percentage of those people own the InArt or have been waiting to see I don't know. That's just purely just for fun, but 81% said they prefer the Hot Toys version. So that's our percentage for the stream here. Do with that what you will, guys. At the end of the day, my final message for this conversation is collect what you like. We're not at all saying that your InArt's not good. I still love my InArt. It still has a place in my collection. And yeah. Ekwan, we might be talking about figures. Now, what X-Man is talking about, who knows? There might be an underlying message there in his collection, and it's because it's his collection, man. So who knows? Who knows what he's talking about? But X-Man, and yes, guys, as we start our other big topic for the night, and X-Man's going to get us hyped up, we got 68 people in the chat still watching us as we're talking about the Joker for an hour. We appreciate you guys. Please consider dropping a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and check out all of our amazing panel members. Links are in the description. But guys, here we go. Starting us off. I don't ever do this. That's how excited I am for you, X-Man Supreme. I always have my loud mouth going immediately. But because you came correct with the Wolverine workout gear, you got the adamantium claws, it's only right to let you start us off on this topic. Guys, we have Elektra, we have X-23, we have Gambit, and we have Blade being teased here by Hot Toys. Take it away, X-Man. How exciting is this for you? And who are you buying? I think I already know the answer, but who are you buying?
You're all fucking dead. Bro, look at this shit. Look at this. Look at all this. See, now this is the thing that... Now, let me start off a little bit metered by saying that this is a tease. We've had teases before. We never really know how those are going to shake out, right? They teased Team Suit Drax, and they teased Team Suit friggin' Mantis. So, and we know they got that new shiny head sculpt that they're going to want to make more money off of. So she's probably coming, maybe not. So
Right.
the graveyard exists for a reason. But I was this close. I said if they don't say anything before the year's end about X-23, I'm finding somebody to make me a custom.
Damn, you were that. Damn, it was that exciting for you. You're like,
I
gotta
need
have
that.
it
Let me tell
original.
you, when I was telling Shane over at Focus today that I used to see the iconic images of fans meeting like Michael Jackson or the Beatles or Elvis, all these girls screaming and crying, and some of them are fainting and shit, and I'm like, y'all, they're people, chill out, it ain't that serious.
Right.
I have felt exactly that way 3 times in my life. Okay, one was when Ryan Reynolds got on the internet and Hugh Jackman showed up randomly and said, "Yeah, I'll be Wolverine again." That was one time.
Dude, that was
The second time was when I saw Daphne Keane show up in that movie. I cried like a little bitch. And the third time was when Hugh put that mask on.
Oh, dude.
The 3 out of 3, all the times that I felt like that was because of this
the
movie.
Same film.
And yeah, oh yeah. And man, let me tell you, if they follow through on this like they're supposed to do, then Laura and Remy are coming home for damn sure. Now I don't know that I need Elektra or Blade, honestly,
Yeah.
but I am short on mutants, and I gotta have my mutants. So Laura's coming. Freaking, I'm gonna have. Remy was. I was very iffy about Channing Tatum when he showed up on screen, because my first thought was, what is this sausage of a man doing squeezed into this little outfit?
Right.
Like he looked thick in the wrong ways when I first saw him. I was like, you're a little bit too big to be Gambit. But man, he had that accent, and I know it was played for a laugh, but it was pretty damn on point.
No, yeah, like even when
Yeah.
you like hear the people trying to replicate him, I feel like
yeah.
you could see like he put his time in, and I think he has family from New Orleans. So I
No,
think
he's
that-
from New Orleans.
or
He
he's from New
knows
Orleans,
that
okay.
shit. That's
Yeah,
how
so,
he
like,
grew up.
So
Yeah.
obviously he has a lot to draw from there.
Oh yeah.
And also, real quick, Gio, a member for 5 months of the Hotline Hotties. Thank you, Gio. I'll let you answer this first, and then as the panel member goes, we'll answer. But Gio has a question. Actually, we'll answer it now. Which of the Resistance is being announced first? Who do you think is being announced first out of these 4? I have my answer already. I'll go after you.
I think Blade.
Blade? Dude, I'm going to say Gambit. I'm going to say
Think
Gambit.
so?
I think Gambit is such a strong way to start off this little mini subsect of a line, I guess you could call it.
I think Blade, because people are thirsty for it.
They are, but dude, Gambit, like, think about the pop of the purple and stuff, and like his torso armor.
Oh, yeah,
and
he's gonna
stuff.
be
Like,
beautiful.
I feel like
Oh,
they're just
yeah.
gonna get that out there first, just to get people. hyped up.
Ooh, they better not do him dirty with that pleather.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope they don't.
They're gonna, damn it, they're gonna do it.
I actually think all 4 of these are going to be announced at the same time.
Ooh,
I really
a
do. I think-
one-nighter? A one-nighter?
Yeah,
Sheesh.
the reason I say that is because I think they're going to show you a bunch of action shots with all 4 of them, kind of like in the movie. Like all 4 of these characters were always on screen together for the most part. So I could totally see this being a like just onslaught of like 4 releases in one night, or 4 announcements in one night. Excuse me. So yeah, but if I had to just
It's
pick
not
one, if
unheard
that
of,
doesn't
dude.
happen, yeah, I would say Gambit too, Connor. That's who I think they'll start with if they go that
Gambit.
route.
What about you, Sean? If you could pick one that they would start this list off with to start announcing, who do you think they would start with?
All right, so I think it's going to be Elektra.
Ooh, Elektra.
And the reason why, however, I do like the idea of all four at once.
It's not unheard of. They've done it. They've done it recently. They blasted a bunch of stuff in one night, and it wasn't part of an event or anything. They just did it. So it's not unheard of.
To shut up the woke mob that's attacking Ryan Reynolds right now.
Oh gosh.
And
yeah,
I think that would be it. To out of these four, they would probably do Elektra and X-23 first.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, with how I've heard more people wanting Blade than anyone else out of these four.
Mm-hmm.
And they would push the hype for Blade and Gambit back just for that. Granted, I mean, I don't know if Howard actually has control or not. You know, if Howard has control of how these are released, he just has to get them all out in a certain specific time. Then that doesn't come into play. And then I think it'll be Blade first.
Another thing I think Gambit has going for him is like the pop culture relevance of the memes and stuff that went insanely viral with him. I feel like it just has so much. It would be such a good, like,
I agree.
You know, all these pages passing around. You know what they do? Like these pop culture pages that don't know about Hot Toys, and they see an announcement that's really cool and they share it. I could just see them sharing all the memes and the comments and shit. It would be so funny.
Do you think it's too late though?
I don't know
because the meme is kind of dead now.
So I will say, Chunker
think coming out tonight. I mean,
that's exactly what I was about to say. Chunker made a great point in the Facebook group earlier. It just went up on Disney Plus, so that's exactly why they timed it like this. Showing
that's okay, all right.
Yeah, so they timed it. They timed it perfectly with the film going on Disney Plus. So obviously, a lot of people don't make it to the theaters, or you know they have anxiety about going to theaters, whatever. A lot of people are going to be seeing it for the first time today, so. This is going to be very fresh in people's minds for sure.
Yeah, and the thing also, man, is like anytime there's spoiler stuff. So if you go back to like say Avengers Endgame, all the advertising for that for toys and stuff was just team suit stuff. Like they didn't even have the accurate looking Thor. Like you could still go see toys where like Thor's got the short hair and they're all in that team suit. So like this kind of goes like, you know, the Funko Pops are coming out. Like now is that second wave of merchandise that comes out for a film that's spoiler heavy because they didn't want this to be anywhere leaked or out to ruin it for the movie. So that this kind of makes sense for that timeline for this to come out. And plus, you know, I think it also goes, you know, Ryan Reynolds just had that update on his Instagram or on his Twitter where he got his Hot Toys Deadpool that he kind of showed off. And so, you know, who knows what went into that, but that's kind of, I feel like this is kind of the marketing blitz they want for this week, right before the holidays. It's the perfect time to pre-order a few of these kind, you know, you can get each one, but for hardcore collectors like X-Man over here, like this is like something where like, you know, all four of them, man, it's going to be hard to like pick and choose which one doesn't make the cut, you know?
Extremely hard. And yeah, I'll wait for my actual like turn to say stuff, but yeah, I have some thoughts on these, and it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough decisions have to be made here.
Do you think that they'll do more? Because they're 9 deep if they do all 4 of these.
Honestly, I think they could just leave it at this, and I think that's a capped off line. I know X-Men for you that's blasphemy because you're like, dude, give me everything possible. I don't need any more Deadpool variants. I
want that brown suit. Still.
I want the brown suit. But then also I'm sitting here and I'm like, I've got the brown suit sitting right here.
That's okay. So, I can have 2.
You know what I mean? Yeah, right. I know. Trust me. It's all like, you know, if we were talking about Predators and Aliens, I'd be like, give me every single Predator. You know what I mean? So it's all really like your collection. You know?
If I could choose one more, if I could add one to this list, it would have to be Peter.
Peter Pool would be hilarious.
Y'all, I just, Peter is the real fucking hero here, you guys.
Yeah, Peter Pool would be hilarious. I would love to
I love him so much. I love him so much. Maybe I'll find someone to do a custom of him, cause you got him. You get him in the suit with the little cause it doesn't zip up all the way. You know, like you filled up your backpack too much, and then you got the big old
best little little appearance that they did. That was just so.
And he's wearing fucking flip flops. He's wearing sandals, orthopedic sandals. Come on, man.
This comment here from Yomo is very Deadpool-esque. I got to give him points for this one. What about you, Mike? Mike, if you could pick one that you think is going to come out first, how do you think Hot Toys starts off this line?
I was thinking Gambit too when you first asked the question. It was the first one that popped in my head. And it's the one that I would want the most, although I don't think I would get him. I feel the same way about what X-Man said about him. I love his passion for it, and I love what he gave on screen, but he's just and never will be Gambit for me. He's just not. But he was the most entertaining, so that's another reason why I think he would be like a great first. He's the one people talk the most about. I mean, sure, were people really that excited to see Elektra? I don't think so, but people were excited to see Blade. X-23 coming back was cool, but it wasn't like we had seen her kind of the most recently, right? And we'd seen her before. Yeah. So I think Gambit was the most exciting and would have the most legs, get the most hype, in my opinion. And Channing Tatum is probably, the biggest actor of the three.
Probably the most relevant actor right now. Because, like Daphne Keane, she's just getting her career really started. Like, she was in The Acolyte, so she kind of took a little bit of a hit there.
We don't talk about that. But yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know. So that's why I just think that would be the smartest business thing and be the one I'd be most excited to see anyway in figure form, even if it wasn't like a figure I'd pick up. Just want to see how they pull it off, how they do it. Yeah. There's little things that they could like make look a little bit better, sort of cheat it a little bit. Like how they cheated Thrawn, for example, make him look a little better than he did on screen.
Right, like more slender than he
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Right. They could kind of like make his while still being accurate to the screen accuracy of it, they could make the mask in the cheek where it comes like around the cheekbones look a little bit better than it did. Yeah. So there were little things in the movie that annoyed me about his look.
It's also like his head shape.
He's too thick. He's too like thick necked. He's not that like tall, skinny kind of.
He's got more rounded features. And,
I did think he did great though. Like I
did
thought
fantastic.
He had that presence, and when it really clicked for me that like this works was the fight scene. Like he did a great job with the choreography. You can tell he worked hard on it. It was fun. Yeah. It was a fun little cameo. I don't know if he should take the mantle now. Like maybe somebody younger should take the role. But
what's his name? Cassel, I think the French actor. You know who I'm talking about? He's older now. He's too old to play Gambit. But Monica Bellucci's husband, if you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
He would have been incredible as Gambit. And he's French, and he looks just like him.
Just get, what's his name that played Elvis?
That would work better too, maybe, Just got the
he looks like it.
He might be a little bit on the shorter side. You're talking about, what's his name? He's like one of the
I can't think of his name,
I know his name.
He was in Dune, whichever version.
Yeah, I swear when I'm on stream, I just blank on. Like I literally couldn't remember Biff Tannen.
Austin Butler.
Austin Butler, Austin Butler. There it is.
I was talking about. Austin Butler, and I was talking about Vincent Castle, if you know him.
Vincent Castle, yep.
Yeah.
Nice pool, dude. I don't. Nice pool would be hilarious, but I don't need a nice pool figure.
You know what? I was right there. I was like, I don't need that guy, but I have this addiction to reaction videos. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know why. But, like, I've watched probably at least a good half of the reactors on YouTube talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. And I just watched it at, like, maybe 3 o'clock this morning. I watched the movie again. And
that's awesome.
And, like, Nice Pool has grown on me.
Dude,
he's grown on me.
Honestly, he was exciting when we thought he was going to be like a samurai Deadpool.
Right. Yeah.
But,
that was kind of how it was for me. I like after I really got like a gauge of what type of character it was, I'm like, it was okay. I actually in figure form, I'd rather have like the cowboy Deadpool. I thought that was way cooler.
He would be cool.
Yeah.
That's cool as shit to me. Like I would have loved to have seen that. Like put him next to Clint Eastwood or something as like a little cameo. I thought that would be cool, but
Zenpool would be nice because he happened in the comics. That would be nice.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I think, like I said, and we'll kind of like, for the remainder of the discussion on this, we'll just kind of have like an open discussion. We can kind of like, bop back and forth between everybody instead of just going down the list. But for me, and Justin and I were talking about this earlier, and Justin and I are kind of on the same page, and I feel like some of my other buddies are too, and maybe Mike as well. There's so much stuff coming out right now that is more important to me and where I am right now with Marvel to keep going so hard on Marvel. Like when I saw that, and Justin was probably in a similar boat to me, when I saw that Caustic Plastic was doing the entirety, at least as far as we know, a good chunk of them at least, of the Universal Classic monsters, I dropped everything I was doing and I was like, well, I'm going to have to change some things because I want all of them. Like, if you're a horror fan and you're like, I don't want to say a true horror fan because I don't want to like, shun people that are much younger and wouldn't have experienced those films as a kid. But if you appreciate horror to its core, that's where you start, in my opinion, with your appreciation of horror as a whole, as a genre, is watching those classic Universal Monsters films where, it was so simple. The set design was simple. A lot of the actors and actresses were reused because, Mike was telling me like they were all hired as part of like the same contract and like reused. We talked about it on last stream.
Yeah, they were basically like theater players in the way that they would be hired under contract and for so many films. So they would all work together.
And it worked so
on different
well,
films
right?
together. Yeah, it worked really well, and they had a great camaraderie. And it was cool the way they used to. I mean, there was the old studio system that got kind of like destroyed in the late 60s and 70s with the new wave that came through, the Coppolas and Scorseses and all that. But that's how the old studio system ran. That's where you saw the same actors.
You could see some of the set designs reused as well in some of the films. And like, look at like Bela Lugosi, who played Dracula, and then he plays Igor in Son of Frankenstein. And it's like those classic actors were just so good at their craft, you couldn't even tell that it was the same person. So it's like, stuff like that has kind of swayed my decision process for this, because at first glance, this is extremely exciting. Like, I've wanted an X-23 for a while as well, and I love Blade. But part of me is like, dude, you have the Present Toys Blade, you've got the Soo Soo Toys one in order, and those are from the Blade trilogy. So I'm like, part of me, believe it or not, I'm like, I don't know if I'll get the Blade. Gambit, I'm in the same boat as Mike. I thought when I first saw the film, I was like, dude, I need a figure of Gambit. But the more I think about it, I'm like, I would rather see Hono do a Gambit and go for like a more animated style one to go with like my animated style figures of like Magneto and, the Hono Wolverines and stuff. So I'm like, I might wait and see if Hono announces one. The third-party So-So one's pretty good, but I'm not spending $400 on that, so I might wait to see.
Yeah, that guy he's up there. I got lucky as hell when I got my hands on him.
He's awesome. He looks great. Way better than the Sideshow one, in my opinion.
Yeah, and keep this in mind also, like, I don't know the intricacies of like exactly how they get. I know it has something to do with like Marvel, the movie, the actor likeness, all that stuff. I don't know every little thing that goes on with it, but if they got the actors' likenesses for all four of these, which they have to, because if not, they're not making these. So keep in mind, we could very well, if they got a Wesley Snipes likeness thing for this figure, we could very well get another Blade down the line. We could very well get an Elektra. So like those are two characters I'm interested to see. But I would feel very comfortable out of all four of these. The Channing Tatum Gambit, I feel very comfortable picking up. That would be the one that I can tell you is would be a guaranteed pickup for me, just because of the whole story behind it. Gambit Channing Tatum trying to get that movie.
Yeah, like
done.
A fan casted thing, and then he wanted to play him for years. Like,
I'm not saying see it get made again. Yeah,
I'm not saying no to Gambit, because I might see the figure and be like, shit, I want it. But I am in the same realm of thinking as Mike, where like, damn, I wish Hono would have already announced one, so I would have something else to compare it to. So I may pre-order it, and then if Hono announces, maybe I'll just cancel it. Right now, as I look at this photo, for me, I don't know about you, Justin, I could see myself getting X-23 and Gambit and calling it a day. I'm in the same boat. Elektra's outfit in the movie kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Her OG outfit was gorgeous, and I wish we had an OG. Even though the film sucked, I still loved her outfit, and it's very nostalgic to me. I didn't really like her. You're going to want it. Dude, I know, I'm trying to stop myself because, again, as I mentioned, like my little rant about the classic horror stuff, like Caustic is doing an Eric Draven 2-pack. They're doing multiple versions of Conan, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Conan. Like, I'm going to want Conan more than these characters. So it's like, how do I prioritize it?
That's what I'm going through right now too, man.
Yeah.
If we got half the figures announced this year than we actually did, be much easier. But I have gotten so much more selective. I'm still buying the same amount of figures. I've just gotten more selective because otherwise I'd be buying twice as many figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of feed that machine too. I mean, we get on here, we talk like it gives us stuff to talk about. So it's been so exciting getting this onslaught of just different companies, different figures, different scales. So like that's exciting, but at the same time, yeah, from a collector standpoint, it's making it more difficult. I will say the thing that I'm with you on that, Connor, with like, I'm definitely, I've already told you, like, and I said this on my stream, I think on Friday, is like, I'm redesigning my pre-order list. Like I'm even changing my whole strategy of when I'm pre-ordering stuff. I'm holding out a little bit longer, seeing if the FOMO passes by and I still want it. The reason I love this announcement is because these are new characters / versions of characters we haven't seen yet. Yeah. And that excites me a lot more. As much as I love the Heath Ledger Joker announcement and release and all that stuff, like we know we're going to get more, and we know we've gotten more in the past, or we've gotten some in the past. This feels fresh. Like Deadpool Wolverine, the hype isn't where it was over the summer, rightfully so. That's just how it goes. But
maybe for you.
But I'm just saying, just in general, like it's
and it could get reignited now that it's on Disney Plus. Like I said, the timing is very clever from Hot Toys. They probably weren't at all ready with all the other shit they were announcing to put these out. So it's smart of them to wait and say, let's throw this out there, see how people react, and let's see if we move forward with this. Which,
people are as we talked about with Infinity War Endgame, like the hype. I mean, there's a window of hype that you could get people to pretty much buy everything from the movie. This is at that ending phase. That's what I'm saying. This is like the second
you're
wave.
right. Like this is the last hurrah, I think, for this
That's what
film.
I'm getting. Yeah,
in my opinion. And I don't want to. I know X-Men and like our boy Yomo, they want everything possible, and I hope you guys get it. But for me, I'm kind of in agreement with Justin. I think this should be it for the line and call it a day. Move on.
It
to something
probably
else.
is.
Well, which would be a great way to end it. To be fair.
Yeah, if you're getting this, you got to be thrilled. Yeah.
But another reason why, like you see everybody in the chat saying, I want the brown suit, I want this suit. Like people still want more Wolverine. And I would rather have 3 or 4 more Wolverines than any one of these characters. That's just me. And I might be
well, you're a big Wolverine fan, so it's understandable. Like if we're talking about Anakin, 2 more Anakin Skywalkers or these 4, I would tell you screw these figures.
But see, I'd rather them go more. I'm more like I'd rather them go more like use that new Hugh Jackman sculpt, even though it's an older sculpt. I want like X2 Hugh Jackman Wolverine. Like that's what I'm really holding out for. Is like X2. Like that's really the one. That's probably my favorite. I don't know, man. It's tough because all of them are, and
Weapon X would be super cool too. Like
that's what I'm saying. X2 is probably my favorite live action X-Men movie. That and Days of Futures Past probably. And again, man, I just know we're gonna get more Wolverines. That's kind of my point. Is like for this,
I see it. Yeah, I see what
you mean. Like this might be the only chance you ever get to get the Channing Tatum Gambit. Like literally, like if they never do anything else with that character, and this was kind of a glorified cameo, this is it. So that's intriguing to me.
That's a good point.
That's true. But see, for me, if it was my dream lineup of if this was the last 4 they do, if I got to pick, what the last 4 were, I would keep X-23. I would put Short King Wolverine in there.
That would be hilarious as a
I would put Age of Apocalypse in there, and I would do the brown suit. And those 3 and X-23 would be my final 4 pick.
I think
that's what I would go with.
I think the reason so many people want the brown suit is Hot Toys was very dumb to do 1,500 only for the brown suit because people would have bought it, dude. I'm not even a big comic reader. I've just always loved this design, so I bought it. Like, there's a lot of people that are like that, and even like in the classic like arcade cabinet, I think there was a brown suit variant. So it's like a lot of people would buy that stuff even if they're not attached to like the comics and they just think it looks cool. So I don't know why they did 1,500 only on the brown suit. That was bizarre to me.
Yeah. And the reason I think these get announced at the same time, you guys, is the more I've been thinking about that while we've been talking is like, each of these characters, if this was a singular release, I'd say Blade would sell great. Like if they just did a Wesley Snipes Blade, that would sell great. But all the other 3, I don't know how well they would sell as a singular piece. Having all 4 of them released at the same time, I don't think would be a terrible business idea because that would kind of, they're kind of a team thing that you can maybe drop at once. And like I said, man, if they wait too long to announce these, dude, we might have 25 more announcements by then. So I think they really need to strike while the iron's hot, while this movie still has that first leg of like hype around it. And, again, they're advertising, like Iceman says, we'll see what they actually do with it. I think we're for sure getting all 4, but I am interested to see the rollout of this. I personally would bank on, I really think it's going to be all at once. I really do. I think that would be the smartest especially around the holidays. Like I know that's for pre-orders, but there's a lot of places now where not having to put too much down on a deposit or whatever. So, man, these could be limited. I mean, these could truly be limited pieces. Like we haven't talked about that yet. Like I don't know how many of
many
these.
heart attacks.
When you say all at once, do you mean like literally the same post,
pre-ordered.
or like do you mean over the course of a week or so?
I think he
that
means
they
like on
might-
one night, right? Like
Yeah, I
just
think that
drop
they
them one by
might
one,
do
yeah.
something that would be exciting, in my opinion, if they did all 4 one night. Yeah, they have different, they have different posts for each one, but like with each one, it's like team shots of all 4 of them. Because again, this movie's very interesting. Where like those 4 characters were on screen. When they did promoting for the movie after the movie had been out for a couple weeks, these 4 were on the press circuit together. So that would just kind of be cool if they announced them all at once, in my opinion.
But also, like, going along with your point, too, like, look how many people waited on the Bad Batch because they couldn't see that the whole crew was coming out. They weren't sure if Hot Toys was going to... Because Hot Toys has done that in the past, They've done the Guardians, Volume 3 Guardians, perfect example. No Drax, no Mantis. They've done it in the past with many different lines. So, for them to do these all at once, I think would be to their favor. Because people would be like, cool, I can get all 4 of them. I'm all in now. So
I think if they
wouldn't
do
be surprised.
all at once, they're going to be short turnarounds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be small amount of numbers, and they're going to announce it, and then a week later it's released.
Oh, that's
And we're
Right
all
before
going to go
Christmas, that
through
suck.
the sideshow Steam engine. I hope I get a chance. I hope I get a chance. I hope I
That's
get a
actually
chance.
That's really smart, man, what you're saying, because I think that would be a reason for you, because a lot of us are probably thinking like, man, if they announce all 4 of these at once, I don't want to put down this much money on pre-orders right out of the gate. But if what Sean is saying, if they have a quick turnaround, now you're thinking like, dude, if I can get this in hand like by the end of the year or early 2025, like, yeah, dude, let's go ahead and get this now, because I'm going to see it. My money's not going to be sitting with Sideshow for 8 months, or a year.
Right.
So
basically they'll come out around the same time as Logan, as Wolverine, because he's been on pre-order for quite some time now, right? So yeah, or maybe even faster. I guess if Sean is saying they'd come out even sooner.
Hot Toys
than
is
that would.
weird
Well,
sometimes.
if they're all at once, but if they're all
Yeah.
going to be individual,
man. I still don't have my Deadpool yet. Shit.
Yeah, but
I remember when the Deadpool first dropped and all these people were making jokes about like me and Chris and everybody else that got them like overseas. They're like, oh, well, look at you. You paid all that money to get it and we're about to get ours next month. And now it still hasn't shipped.
Brick got his and Ladypool, and I'm still waiting on both of those.
Yeah, I've had that Deadpool since I got one of the first like
Man.
500, so I've had him forever. But great
I paid
figure.
that shit
it's,
off
it's
already.
worth the wait. It's worth the wait. You're gonna love it. It's
Oh no,
from someone
absolutely,
who's
absolutely.
from someone who owned 2 of the Deadpool 2 Deadpools. It's a huge improvement over those. Like, it's
Oh,
really,
100%.
really nice.
Is that Deadpool 2? I have him. He's one of my favorite figures. But seeing them compared, this one blows it away.
It's
Absolutely
heaps
does.
better. It's heaps better.
yeah, and
for
I just
sure.
think for Marvel, like we were talking about earlier, Connor, like Marvel, I think you would agree with me on this, dude. Like now you're at a different stage of collecting 6 scale than I am. So for me, like there's still Marvel pieces I'm kind of waiting to see, especially from that Avengers 2012 movie, see if there's 2.0 versions of that. That's kind of what I would love to see. But I think you would agree, like if Marvel starts giving us certain things, yeah, you're definitely making room for that. But I think you're kind of saying like the days of like you feel like you got to collect an entire line from a Marvel film or just the same character, maybe the 8th version of it,
So what I kind of look back on now that I've been letting some go is I'm not going too crazy on the TV shows anymore because I regretted doing that. Like I recently let go of Moon Knight. I let go of TVA Loki. I traded my Sylvie off to our boy Blue Tattoo. So, the TV shows, that's the thing I regret going so hard on, which, and individual movies too that aren't on the level of like Endgame or Infinity War. Like, some and some stuff I'm glad that I waited. Like I for a while I wanted Shang-Chi and Wenwu, and now I could care less about getting either one of them. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm going to be much more strict with Marvel moving forward, unless it's like I'm really interested in the animated / comic stuff.
yes.
Spider-Man, No Way Home, that's another line. I regret buying so many figures from that line because they didn't turn out that good. Let's be real. Like, the Doc Ock is awesome. The sculpt is just okay. I love the Andrew Garfield, even though it's not technically a No Way Home release. I love that figure. The Toby sucked. which really let me down because I love Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And I'm so glad that Riley Lowe did that custom because I love that figure so much. And it's the same figure. He just customized it and made it so much better. And then, like,
dude, I'm getting nervous that this is going to be limited, Connor. Like, the more we're talking, dude, I'm getting nervous that they're going to make this limited, like, push sales for it, like, because I don't know how well these would sell just standalone. Like I said, these are that was a great scene in the movie, but like, people would prefer like a Blade, Blade 1 or Blade 2 Blade.
But what they could do, they could do some limited, like the ones that they feel like would sell not as well. Like maybe Elektra and X-23 would be limited, and then Gambit and Blade.
Don't put that evil on me.
If they split up 000 and if they split up 000 and BT1, they can split these up.
Right. Like and then like even those troopers that just got announced, like that the one that we just got, we finally got a proper purge trooper. They showed like 4 or 5 other ones in that photo. They're not all going to be limited. Some of them are going to be general release. So.
Yeah.
I don't want to put that out there in the universe, but I could see them doing it. But I hope that they're all just general release because
me too. I would love to see like 2 that we talked about it. That Ahsoka price point. I would love to see this at like the 280, the 270 range. That would be nice to see that again, dude. Like because we haven't been seeing that lately.
So give Gambit a nice trench with some really cool card effects. Some magic effects.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I could see that figure and be like, shit, I need it.
It could look really
very
cool.
well
That's
put
gonna
that
happen.
out in the universe. I might see it and be like, damn, I want that. And like I said, maybe I'll pre-order it, and then if they do an animated Inspire one, cool, I'll get that one instead.
2 different hair
what's up,
pieces.
Susie? Great to see you, bro. I hope you're doing well.
Okay, worst case scenario here: Elektra, X-23, and Gambit are Artisan.
I would hope.
You know what though? I kind of want X-23 to be Artisan. I want her to have that hair. She's got a lot of hair, and I don't want that to be sculpted.
I don't think that Elektra is going to sell very well at all, so I don't see them putting the resources in her to do wool-rooted hair. I mean, at least I would think that they would.
I don't know. Jennifer Gardner has gotten more and more popular lately.
No, she is, but how many people were like super pumped about Elektra showing up in the film versus all
you have
these other cameos? She was
one major fantasy I have. Okay,
so Sean, this is for you. Is what
Jennifer Gardner and the girl from Netflix that played Elektra.
Jennifer Gardner looks great
both in their outfit.
She looks great,
Jennifer Gardner and who?
And the girl that played Elektra in Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the double whammy. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right.
What the fantasy is like? They're just there, just hanging out, like.
Dude, I said threesome, dude.
You're in the room. Oh, my bad.
Yes, he's sitting on their jackets. That's his fantasy. He's sitting on their jackets, and they're asking him to move.
We're axing. We're gonna.
We're going there.
Oh yeah, that's Mike's. That's Mike's. I will take. How about this? Scratch Elektra. Give me Sophia Falcone / Gigante in that red outfit.
Oh, I can fix her.
No. She's too needy.
I can fix her.
Or the yellow,
right, exactly.
Yellow outfit.
X-Men and I will take turns. 1 week she'll be his, another week mine, and we'll fix her up, man.
Hey, Connor, what Kaiju Daddy said, that's a great point that I didn't think of when he talked about this is a great comment because that's a great point that I wasn't thinking of. All I will say is this: we saw this with that's why I think we might see, like, they just got the likeness for these characters. Are these actors, right? So I could definitely see, again, I don't know if it would come in a limited fashion, but these might not just be, this might be one-offs for this particular version of the character. But now if they got Wesley Snipes, dude, I'm definitely going and using that sculpt. I'm definitely making a younger Blade. I'm definitely making an Elektra, again, even if it's a limited piece down the line.
Yeah.
I think the limited would guarantee that these sell well, though. And we saw that with that Black Widow, how incredible that Scarlett Johansson sculpt is. Again, they already had the likeness or whatever, so that's different. But we know that's not going to be the last time we see that Scarlett Johansson sculpt. We haven't seen the last of that Hugh Jackman sculpt. So Channing Tatum,
they're going to reuse that Hugh Jackman sculpt a lot.
Yeah, that would be the one, the Channing Tatum Gambit, and even that one, dude. If this is just a standard release, I think that these probably sit for a while, honestly. Unless they made them like a limited capacity, which I'm fine with, by the way. Like, I don't mind if it sits for a bit. But
I would hope these would be like a general release. Like I said, especially the Elektra, I just don't see it making sense for them to like do Artisan. I don't know. We'll see. We're just theorizing here.
4-pack, guys. 4-pack.
Dude, it's
We're
hard enough to get a
off.
2-pack from
We're
Hot Toys
fucked
nowadays.
straight off.
1,000 all in.
Hot Toys
You know
seems
what?
to
I'll
not
do it.
really like
I'll do it.
2-packs anymore. 1,000 all in wouldn't be terrible for all 4 of them.
I
and they
will
all come
do
with
it.
Accessories, yeah.
I will cancel so many things, and I will do it.
And you get a 7-day free trial of Disney Plus if you buy. Within 15 days.
It's got like a little ticket on the side of the box. Guys,
I
we're
already
gonna
got
move on,
Disney
though.
Plus, man.
We're gonna move on now. I actually just got charged today for a year. I didn't even realize it was coming out today.
Give me Hulu.
Right.
Yeah, dude, bundle that. Bundle the Max, the Hulu. It's either Hulu, Hulu Max, Disney Plus bundle, dude. Y'all got to get on that.
Kaiju Daddy, I hope you're here still. We saved this for one of the last topics. We're not gonna spend too much time on this. I just think this is cool as shit.
This is stupid cool. Man.
Oh, it's so cool. I almost wanted to play one more time in the background and get copyright striked, but I was like, you know. But this is so freaking cool. And Soo, they seem to be one of the only companies that really cares to do musician figures. They, I pre-ordered their Slash from Guns N' Roses because that was one of the figures on my list. Johnny Cash, Slash, Daft Punk was on my list. There's a lot of like really exciting musician-based figures coming out from Soo. I will say this, something I wanted to note, because when I first saw this, I was like, what the hell? The helmets don't light up. Someone actually pointed it out, like this outfit, the helmets didn't light up, which I never knew that was a thing. I thought they just always had LEDs in their helmets, but I looked up stills of this outfit. They were right. There's no photos of the LEDs being turned on in these helmets. So apparently, I guess this was like a blacked out look. So it was like a more subtle look that they went for. Because obviously, over the years, Daft Punk, they changed their outfits so many times.
Wasn't this their last look?
I think this was. I think this is like the, before they called it quits and said that they weren't performing or anything.
Like, this is what they had on in the desert when they ended it, right? In that little video?
Yeah. Yep. I think this was the very last outfit they wore. So this is really cool. I think it was a good choice. Where I'm going to display mine, one of my favorite movie soundtracks ever, Tron Legacy. I have the Sam Flynn on the light cycle, and I have Kevin Flynn. So these guys are going to go in there, and I'm going to have them like DJing behind them, because that's just way too cool of a little reference for me. Because, yeah, the Tron Legacy soundtrack is so freaking good, and the fact that they got Daft Punk to do it is just still so crazy to this day. But this is really cool. I never expected anyone to do it. I remember there was somebody on the Soo page asking for this so many times, and whoever they are, shout out to you, because I'm sure you were part of the influence to get that conversation started. But this is cool as shit, and it's like $270 for the 2-pack, which I think is very fair. And it says new figure base. If they do like a DJ booth base, that would be freaking incredible. And to be fair, for prints, like I have their prints in my collection, the Purple Rain version, they did a whole stage diorama base for him. So if it's anything like that, I think they'll do like a little DJ booth for them, and that's going to be so freaking cool. Like this is, Soo Soo Toys continues to do stuff that no one else will do. And when you see it, you're like, that's cool as shit. So, oh, it was Kaiju. I feel like I would have remembered if it was just you. Maybe it was you and someone else. Like I saw someone else asking all the time. I believe it was you, but I think that you had a partner in crime there. But yeah, this is really, really exciting. Gio, you're going to break my heart, dude. I love Tron Legacy. You're breaking my heart with that one. I freaking love that movie. Even more than the first Tron. I think Tron Legacy is way more enjoyable than the first Tron. Because the first Tron, it came out at a time where those visual effects for a movie like that weren't quite there. Still, it's young Jeff Bridges, so we love the movie. But yeah.
And we might get some Tron Aerie stuff, Connor. Might get some Tron Aerie stuff.
I hope so. Like Jared Leto's character with the red looks freaking badass. Like I hope so, dude.
When do you think these will release? May 2027?
Soo hasn't been too bad. Like they're actually, I would say they're probably on the quicker side out of all the third-party companies. Like them and Present Toys have been. Present Toys is kind of hard because they announced so much shit, and Soo announced so much shit. It's like quick in relation to they're always releasing something. I know their Geralt is about to release, which I'm excited for because I canceled the 3-0 one because it just looked so bad, and I had the Soo Soo Toys one on order, and they fixed the hair. The hair doesn't look like spaghetti anymore, so I'm really excited for that one. But I don't know. I'm definitely pre-ordering this, and it seems like a lot of people are exciting. I know, dude, like the Tron Legacy stuff together with this just seems so cool to me. So I'm going to make like a little, like I said, I'm going to have them on a platform kind of hovering over the Tron stuff, and I think it'll be cool in my little Disney display that I have.
Well, dude, we're 100% going to get Tron Aerie stuff. You would think so. I mean, too. It's Disney property. It's brand. Yeah, it's an opportunity to maybe get another light cycle.
Jared Leto. Look how many figures they've done of Jared Leto. Like countless figures of Jared Leto. Even Morbius out of all possible figures. So, I know. Yeah. The start. So, guys, I was prepared for this question because I know people were going to ask that because, I like to promote Kit, and Kit he will not carry so don't ever ask him. It's actually like a sore subject. I was prepared. So here you go, guys. This is a shop that I buy from, not sponsored by them. Don't have a deal, but I've bought for them many times. I love Giant Toy. Yeah. Incredible customer service. Great people to deal with whenever you have questions or anything like that. So highly, highly recommend pre-order from Giant Toy. They have a Facebook group. You can contact them directly. They always answer. So highly recommend Giant Toy if you're going to pre-order Soo Soo stuff. That's where I get all my Soo Soo stuff from. So that's what I recommend. That's where I'm going to get mine from. But yeah, $270 for the 2-pack. And if I'm correct in thinking it's probably going to come with like a DJ booth base, I think that's pretty fair. But this is awesome. This is so cool, and it's look at all the hands, dude. Like that's the other thing that tells me, envy. Right? Yeah. That tells me that there's going to be a DJ booth because why the hell would they? Oh, yeah. Why are they including all those hands? There's got to be some reason they have all those hands. You know what I mean? So I think that's what it's going to be. But this is cool as shit. One other thing.
These are great, dude.
Yeah, it's so random.
Like right? I don't even. Discovery came out when I was in college, and it was unlike anything I listened to. But I loved the record, and I loved their look. And 20 years plus later, they still have a lot of appeal. So,
and I wish they were still making music, but they went out $230. Yeah, I think on Giant. Am I wrong about the price? I thought on Giant Toy it was $270.
Wow, the 2-pack was only $230. That's
really
$280
good, right?
From
Giant Toy, $280, which I still think is very fair.
Dude, Soo Soo. Yeah, I only have one of their figures. It's the Old Man Logan. It's one of my favorite figures.
Dude, their stuff is great. One of my
that Old Man Logan is so sick.
So good.
He is so amazing. Yeah, I finally got him. I found a set from Lion Rock of the figure and the extra little head sculpt that they put out later. Yep. Yeah, he's great. He's great. Really,
this is one of my favorite Soo Soo figures.
That looks good too.
Mark.
Yeah, Omni-Man. Yeah, Mark.
Think Mark.
J.K. Simmons, dude. What a friggin'
Peter.
Beast.
I mean Mark.
But yeah, I love, dude. Soo Soo does great work, and their paint apps are just getting better and better. If I had to say like who has better quality figures, Present Toys or Soo Soo, definitely Soo Soo for sure. Like,
Soo Soo does really good. That
stuff. Actually,
their Gambit, their Rogue. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was gonna say like. It would probably be a tie between Omni-Man and that new Mr. Freeze because I love that Mr. Freeze. That figure is like nearly perfect. I love.
Oh, with the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gio. Long story short,
so good.
And I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, so don't quote me on that. But basically, I think they took some not technically intellectual property because it's third party, but some work that a friend of his had done. Soo Soo took it and used it as their own. I think that's how it all started. So because of that, Kit doesn't mess with them for obvious reasons.
I don't bring up any subject to Kit because I'm afraid. I consider every subject off limits.
Jazzy, I think their tailoring is really good. Like, watch my review on the Mr. Freeze. That robe that they did for Mr. Freeze is amazing, and it has these super thin magnets sewn into the robe to magnetize. It's very clever. I think they do a very good job. Dude, it's so good. And I passed on it.
I want them just for the
I ordered it 2 weeks before it released. There was a rumor that it was releasing. I was like, shit, if I'm going to get it, now's the chance. So I pre-ordered it. Here we are. No problem. One more thing I wanted to show because I saw this and I was like, dude, I cannot wait for this. And it's extremely impressive in my opinion. This is like surreal. Like, so this is the Jailhouse Rock version of Elvis from Iconic Studios. They did this and they did the Vegas version. This is the final product. So, like, this is a figure. It almost looks like Photoshopped.
Yeah,
it's
I was
like
blown
actually
away by this.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, and I actually saw some people saying it doesn't look like Elvis, and I'm like, where are your standards? Like, I respect everybody's opinions, but when I look at it, I'm like, this is freaking Elvis through and through. And this figure comes with like a Jailhouse diorama to put in front of him. Like, dude, like, it looks photoshopped. I literally said it to Luke from Iconic because he commented on my post in the Facebook group. I'm like, dude, this literally, it looks photoshopped. It looks fake. It's so realistic looking. It looks
it's fake. So weird in that.
It's bizarre, hand. Right? It's so bizarre.
Where did I see these? I saw these exact pictures. Where did I see these?
I posted my Instagram story. Maybe you saw them there, but
yeah. These look. It looks like it's photoshopped.
Yeah, Yoda. It does look like it's photoshopped. Yoda. My theory, Andrew from Iconic, Andy as he goes by, he was like kind of the head of the 6 scale stuff, and he was kind of spearheading that, and he stepped down because, he had a family to focus on, a new baby and everything, which is understandable. But I feel like, and, I've had chats with Luke about this, who's on one of the higher ups. He handles mostly the game stuff at Iconic, but he's one of the higher ups at the company. And he assured me that it's not affecting the 6 scale stuff, but I feel like, having Andy at the head of the company, he, that put more focus on the 6 scale line. Luke told me that they're still moving forward with Street Fighter. They still have plans to keep doing that other stuff, and they've has some other announcements that they're going to make, but they're focusing on releasing stuff, which is why they've been a little on the quieter side lately. So I think that's probably a good thing, right? This looks fantastic. I'm not going to lie. I've had a fair amount of QC issues with Iconic stuff. I've been happy with the figures, but I have had QC issues with their stuff. So hopefully they get that stuff sorted out. Because I love the company. I had bad customer service experiences with them too, like emailing their, and you guys know I'm always transparent. I love the company. I love their products, but the customer service I received through email to them was horrible. Like for months and months and months, I was emailing them, and I was very nice to them. Never pulled like a YouTuber card or anything. I don't do that because that's just weird. But I was just very cordial about it, and they just kept telling me they'll do this, and, so it was rough. And I explained that to Luke, and he was very respectful and he received it very well. I was like, look, dude, like other people are saying they have issues with customer service, like that needs to be sorted out. And he was very, open to hearing that. So that's my biggest thing with Iconic is their customer service on the email side. It needs to be fixed because that was a rough experience for me. So, Kaiju, I couldn't disagree more. I would not describe this head sculpt as weak. I mean, to each their own. I think it looks fantastic, but for some people too, it's like the expression. Not a fan of the expression they chose. I think it looks just like Elvis, and to me, it's like scary how real it looks. But he looks awesome. I have both on pre-order. For me, I grew up with my grandparents, so I had a lot of influences to very old westerns and old music and stuff like that. So this stuff is very special to me. So like when I look back at like stuff in my collection, I see like my Clint Eastwood figures, it reminds me of my grandfather, and I've got my Elvis stuff that reminds me like listening to music as a kid with my grandmother. So to me, that stuff is really special. So to see someone doing officially licensed Elvis figures is really cool. So I'll read one more comment and then we'll get ready to close out the stream. Yoda says, I QC issues with the Ken figure, but customer service is great. Hopefully they've started stepping up overall. Yeah, I mean, in my experience was directly through them, through email. And, to be fair, I didn't purchase the figure from them, but Sideshow, they didn't have any replacement parts. They couldn't replace it. And because I had already had it replaced once through Sideshow, and I had the exact same issue. What the issue was is the Muhammad Ali bust that comes with the figure. The head sculpt was literally stuck to the bust, so when you pull the head sculpt off, it rips paint off of the neck of the bust. Ooh. And I shared that with Iconic. It went on for months back and forth trying to get a replacement. They finally get a replacement, and Luke hit me up. He's like, I'm so sorry. The one that we got in for replacement has the exact same issue. So it's like, at that point, I'm like, oh, well, they tried. But, there's no shade on Iconic as a company. They do great stuff. But, again, I just want to share my experience because, you guys are buying from them, too. So I want to be real with you guys. Like, of course, dealing with Sideshow and any other company you buy from, that's the first line of defense with any of these companies. They're supposed to handle that. But for me, in my situation, I had to deal with Iconic directly because Sideshow had no replacement. So that was just my unique situation. So not at all trashing Iconic. I love them as a company. And Luke, that guy is just incredible. So that's my thought on it. What's up, Boba Fettuccini? We're actually just getting ready to end out the stream. What an amazing, fun little stream we had here tonight. Went longer than I thought, but it didn't feel like it because we're just having fun. When you're having fun, time goes by fast. But thank you for popping in, Boba. Guys, those of you who are still here, please consider dropping a like. We had a great... What was that? Somebody just died.
They dropped a like.
Yeah, right. A literal like. I think X-Men went a little crazy with his adamantium claws and like cut the door down or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's I was scratch-turbating.
He just got his adamantium skeleton transfusion, so he's still getting used to the claws. But guys, what a fun time. What a great topic of discussion. Guys, again, the moral of the story, especially with the in-art stuff, is buy what you like, collect what you like with everything. Collect what you like, spend your money where you want to spend it, and that's the best way to collect. And no one's going to judge you for it here, because that's how we roll. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. hanging out with us. We had a great turnout tonight, guys. Once again, please consider dropping a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Big shout out to X-Man for coming in last minute. It was great to have you on, dude, and I'm sure you'll be back with us. It was such a fun time, and I'm so glad.
Anytime.
Spur of the moment, you're able to come in. I've been looking for an opportunity to bring you in, and I felt bad asking Justin, even though Justin's been on the stream before. I felt bad asking him so late. So I appreciate Justin coming on too. It was great.
He ain't doing nothing.
Justin on. Always great to have Justin on, and you guys as a dynamic was really fun to have you guys on together, and it just worked out that way. So. What a fun time. Chris couldn't make it tonight because he is packing up his stuff. I'm actually going to be heading down his way this weekend to help him move, so I'm not looking forward to that at all. Because we're going to keep his DTOFs assembled and kind of load them up into the U-Haul, so that's going to be heavy as shit.
Dude, that's brutal.
No,
There's nothing worse than helping somebody move, man. It is the worst.
They're heavy as shit.
You feel guilted into doing it, but no friend should ask you to move, man, unless they're going to be...
Dude, no, he sounded...
Is a horrible experience.
Dude, it was like, in the arms of the angels. When he called me, dude, he's like, how's it going, man? I couldn't get anyone to help me move. It would really be awesome. You know what I mean? So I felt so bad. I would have helped him regardless, but
yeah, you end up helping, but
he made a good pitch, dude. He made a good pitch. But yeah, those DTOFs are gonna suck. They used to be my DTOFs, so I've had experience handling those exact DTOFs. So that's gonna be fun. They're heavy as shit. If you own DTOFs, you know they're heavy as shit, dude. They're like it's crazy. Thank you so much, Valk, for the $2.99 super sticker. You are too kind, my friend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, and everybody else, guys. All of you guys who have extended your memberships or just hung out with us tonight. It was such a fun time. Thank you, Sean, for being here and making it. Love the new backdrop. It's looking awesome.
Yeah,
love the Batmobile up there. It looks dope. Always love to see that 89 Batmobile. And the Batman hat. Sean came prepared, dude. He knew what we were talking about tonight. He came prepared.
Yeah,
we're Batman fans over here, so appreciate you making it, Sean. And then, of course, Mike, as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your night as well to come here with us and hang out. Always a fun time. It's great to be back. Last week it was a rough start because we've been off for 3 weeks, but we're right back at it this week, guys. So we had a fun time, and yeah, that's all I got to say, guys. Thank you everybody for being here. There's links in the description for everybody who has a channel or an Instagram, all in the description. X-Man, do you have a channel? Or I know you have an Instagram. Do you want your Instagram shared? Because if you do,
sure.
I'll update that. Okay, so after this, I'll update the description since we added you last minute. Guys, check out X-Man Supreme on Instagram. Check out Mike Thrawn's Office on Instagram. Sean on YouTube. Justin on YouTube. Justin's absolutely killing it. And Justin, I was so overjoyed to see how well your Frankenstein video did because I didn't realize there was so much interest for classic horror still, especially for people that collect 6-scale. So to see so many views and so many responses, I was like, that's freaking awesome because that's what
it's a good looking figure.
Oh, dude, it looks amazing.
It is.
Dude,
yeah, that was fun. All the comments I got on that, people just getting hyped, man. It's cool. Something that's 1930s, still having relevancy and people still talking about, man. It's awesome.
That's so awesome. So what we were talking about last week, it's just so cool to see those horror figures.
I know, and I thought the Nosferatu would be the end of it, and that was even amazing to have. That film came out in 1922, and to see a company, willing to spend money and take the chance to see if people would buy it. Clearly, they have the support because there's enough people out there buying their stuff, and with Eric Draven and Conan and all this other different stuff that they're doing, that company, we're watching In Art and Hot Toys. You better watch Caustic Plastic, and then Bloodsport. They're doing so much cool stuff. So,
hey, speaking of
nobody else is doing, which I love, man. Go ahead, Mike. But I just wanted to add that real quick. I just love the IPs they're getting.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Just speaking of random stuff real quick, I forgot to bring it down here, so it's kind of a stupid point to bring up. But the Alien Romulus figure from NECA is so good,
I heard
man.
It was really good.
It's fantastic. And their creature pack, their extra pack, that has the big chap in his cocoon thing.
Oh yeah, from Romulus,
it's phenomenal. I this is Randy from NECA was saying this is their best alien yet.
Isn't that?
It is true, dude. It's the best one they've ever made. Even if you're not a big fan of the film, which I think the film is mostly caca, but I love the figure. It's fantastic.
Wasn't it?
It's so good.
With that creature pack, didn't they spoil Big Chap being in the film with that creature pack? Toy companies do that shit all the time, especially Lego. Lego does that a lot, dude.
Yes,
I'll say
Lego
this.
does it a lot.
I was at Target the other day, and I was just checking out the NECA stuff. I don't collect a lot of NECA. I have some, I have Puppet Master, because I love those films. I got the Puppet Master figures and stuff. I was looking at the newest like Ultimate Bride of Frankenstein. That figure's amazing.
Dude, all their
It's
horror stuff has
amazing,
been
like-
so
Yeah,
good.
the horror. I still to this day collect the NECA horror stuff, and
Yeah, their
dude,
RJ McCready. I saw that the other day. That was incredible.
yeah.
Like, dude,
Connor,
they're doing
look
some
at it.
really good
Hold on.
stuff.
Their
NECA does good stuff all around.
Yeah, so I
No,
know.
Elvira looks
just
good.
picked this up.
Oh, dude, you got the nose
yeah,
front, dude.
nice.
That was one of my
the,
favorite figures last year
I'm
from
definitely getting
Caustic,
that.
dude. Oh,
Yeah,
it's so
dude.
cool. The
I haven't
black and
opened it
white with
yet.
silver screen. So
But I
cool,
just
man.
love the box so much, dude. Sometimes with NECA, dude, I almost get two because I love to keep them in box as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, their packaging's super flashy. I love that they do the window packaging. Window packaging is so nostalgic to me, so I love that they're continuing to do that. But Invisible Man, yeah, Invisible Man's really cool. I love the Invisible Woman. For me, ranking wise, it'd be Invisible Man and then Invisible Woman. Like that's my top two when we're talking about the Invisible franchise films. Invisible Woman's hilarious, dude. I love that film.
You know,
We need a 1/6. We need a 1/6 Wolfman, like
Lon Chaney,
so
Wolfman,
badly.
dude. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I
Yes, sir.
know it's going to be a process. I know it's going to be expensive as hell, man, but I don't care. Like that's the one I'm.
So I
just
think right
crossing my
now
fingers.
from Caustic, we know we're getting The Mummy, Bride of Frankenstein, and what was the other one? There was one. Was it Creature from the Black Lagoon? I don't know what the other one was they mentioned, but
Yeah.
and we Phantom of the Opera's on pre-order. We have Phantom of the Opera on pre-order, right? So they're
Oh yeah.
and I just ordered I'll close it out with this. I just ordered the Bela Lugosi web exclusive set from Caustic's website. I wasn't gonna get him because I was like, I got my Horror of Dracula 2-pack, which I love Horror of Dracula. I know it's not everybody's favorite. I love Horror of Dracula. I got that and I was like, cool, I've got my Dracula representation. And then we got the announcement for Frankenstein's monster and stuff, and I was like, shit, I need it. I need the Bela Lugosi Dracula to have a proper lineup of the Universal monsters in full.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I was like, I got to get it. So I picked it up. It's on the way. I bought it directly from Infinite because the web exclusive stuff, for those of you guys who are new to Infinite or Caustic Plastic, it's Infinite Statues / Caustic Plastic. They're like two in the same because they make statues as well. You can only get the web exclusive stuff directly from them. Yeah. And like if you buy the Phantom of the Opera deluxe set from them, you get like a special piece too, which usually they do t-shirts. So now they're really doubling down on the web exclusive. So I'm going to be buying from them from now on. Thankfully, the Horror of Dracula set, I was hesitant at first to get that, and it sold out on their website, but they didn't do a web exclusive. They just did the deluxe 2-pack. So I was able to get it from Sideshow from a waitlist conversion, which was very lucky because they didn't make that many of that 2-pack. So,
and those are truly limited exclusives, man. Like truly limited.
Yeah, and there's stuff like Nosferatu. I looked up the other day what the higher versions of him were selling for. It's astronomical what he's selling for. So, yeah, we're gonna end it out on that, but we're nerded out on the horror stuff. So, guys, once again, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Check out everybody links in the description. I hope you guys enjoy the replay. If you're watching on the replay, consider dropping a like on the way out. And guys, keep an eye on the channel. I got some stuff coming. I'm sure Justin's got stuff coming. Sean's working on something. Everybody's working on something eventually.
Hey, I got an important announcement real quick.
Sure.
Okay, so everybody start tracking how much you have on order. I mean, everyone's talking all this stuff. Like I have 45 things on order right now that are just 1/6 scale Hot Toys. It's
all
this
artisan.
No.
What I like about you, Sean,
got-
is you don't get duplicates of the same character. That's what I. Oh wait a minute.
Then I only have 4 things on order, dude. I only got 4 things then.
It's got the artisan troopers.
Anyways, we've had 97 releases this year.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
We've had 87 announcements, and that's it. And these are legitimate, like it's announced for you to pre-order. So that's not including if, whenever Gambit, Blade, X-23, or Elektra are announced. Okay, out of the 97 released, only 44 of them have had hit sculpts. So like likeness rights and everything else. The record is 99 releases in 1 year. So we're 2 away from breaking the record.
Break that record.
No, we're
Hot
gonna get
Toys.
it done.
Get those numbers up.
December.
So, and that was in 2023 was that record there. And then in 2022, the record for the most announcements was 100.
Sheesh. That's a lot of
And this year we've had 23 items that have been announced and released in 2024.
And that's
So the
just
Purge Trooper, once they release the Purge Trooper officially, that will be the 24th one for 2024.
That's crazy. Like for quick turnaround. That's wild.
So, and right now we only have officially we only have 4 things that are actually delayed. But we have 50 things that are expected to release between now and the end of December.
All right. Well, we're we're back.
Will you
We're ready
list
for an
them all?
onslaught.
Sure. Let's go. Batman Armory with Bruce Wayne, The Flash, Batman, Modern.
All right,
Suit.
guys. Anyways, guys.
Miles Morales.
I could see Connor just
Spider-Man,
keep looking at the
49,
ticket lot. It's like,
This is me the whole time.
No, that would be
Sean-
cool if Sean
that's
just takes us
cool.
out like this, you know?
Yeah, and I'm ending the stream. As
Do
you
it
said
live!
Right.
Fried
Yeah.
shrimp,
Yeah.
boiled shrimp gumbo.
All right. We're gonna. Sean, thank you for the information, guys. Long story short, Sean has a great point. Pay attention to your pre-orders. Reconsider some stuff, especially with all the stuff coming out. Like Justin and I and Mike were talking about. Reconsider some stuff. I've got a lot of pre-orders. I don't even know how many I have at this point, but it's a lot. Also, guys, I almost forgot. Casual Friday, the new hot stream on the block. Maybe you get a little dance show. You get a little music involved. Maybe a little candy tier list. You never know what you're going to get. Maybe one day Justin will decide, like, this is a special episode where I have a guest, and I'll make it over on a Casual Friday one day. Who knows? It's Justin's stream. It's just, I'm just hinting at it, but maybe one day he'll have a guest. Who knows? Definitely would be me and not Steve.
Keep it casual.
Casual
Exactly.
Connor, man, so he can loosen up a little bit. He's too, uptight.
It's
you know?
I'm so broke,
dude.
dude.
Casual Connor, man.
I'm so broke, dude. But maybe I need to make it over there before Steve. Steve, it was my idea, so don't cry about it if I make it on Casual Friday before you. I'm just saying, dude, it's my idea. But
I might have to do like 10 guests on the first one just to cover all my
just a
bases
mega
of, like-
guest stream, right? You're like, dude, you can't get mad. I invited you.
Hey,
Just a
maybe you
mega
could have
Casual
me and
Friday.
Brick on, and we can do a zero test on Casual Friday.
No candy.
Take it
corn,
back to where it started.
No
Why does that
candy
sound
corn.
like stirring up shit Friday versus casual?
Yeah, right.
Candy corn is banned. Candy corn is banned. But guys, that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you everybody so much for being here on the chat, and everybody in the panel. Thanks for all the donations. You guys are the best. And take care. And if I don't see you, we'll see you next week at 7 p.m. EST on Tuesday evening. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Make good choices.